what do you think's going to happen?
I've never done anyone wrong. Just tell me instead of being cryptic.
Okay, so if you go back to the, where's the statue? Wherever the horse statue is, and the tall statue. Last night, about 9:30, whatever it was. What you were saying was intended, from my point of view, I could be wrong of course.
Do you know what actually happened then? So I'll break it down.
Can I finish my, like, you can break it down, please?
Don't break it down.
What you were saying, right, from my point of view, and I could be wrong here, was intentionally provocative in a way that you wanted the man to swing it. Now I could be wrong, or start anew, or whatever you want to call it. It's your choice.
So the guy firstly originally assaulted me, then started calling me the F-slur with all of the other people when I was originally trying to engage with the basis of whether St. George was a constitutional Greek or a Palestinian. So then what I said in response was, after he said go suck the mum, I said I'll go suck the mother of the Muslim being Aisha. I don't think that's out of part, considering I never get violent with people. The only thing I say, or the only thing I do in response to violence, is say the same thing that someone would say to me.
If I may retort, based on my understanding of what I saw, the suck your mum bit came at the end, not prior to rain.
It was. I can show you on live stream. I've got an live stream, other independent journalists live streams. What you'll find is that there was a notification after me being told where was my St. George's flag, in which I said that I don't really think it's considered patriotism to quite frownously walk around with a polyester Union Jack or St. George's flag. Then I tried to argue that St. George is a Cappadocian Greek, not a Palestinian man who fought on the Roman army, in which he said that I was a donkey, started calling my colleagues the F-slur. Then he started saying go suck your mum, accused one of my other friends.
In between that donkey and suck your mum bit.
Well, actually, Steve was there, if we can go find him. Sure. He started accusing Steve of being a pedophile.
The videos that, right, so when you are accusing Mohammed of being a paedophile, that's the interjection.
No, that was only when Steve was called a paedophile, saying that you like 17 and 15-year-olds, pointing to two other people in the crowd. And then everyone else unanimously said that Mohammed's a paedophile and he likes people younger.
Okay, I'll leave it to the video. You've got it here, you've got it there. It's just a word to the wise, that's all it is.
Have you ever seen me like randomly insult people for no reason?
I'm giving you a little bit of advice for your own safety and security.
Can I ask you a question based upon you have given Bob advice based on his safety and security, yes or no?
That's my perception of it, yes.
Yeah, but be more specific. What do you mean by that? Because from my perception, that is a threat.
Oh, okay, it wasn't intended as a threat. It was more to my beginning, the original point that I wanted to make, which was that if you insult people to whoever they are in a way that they find insulting, regardless of whether they're Muslim, Christian, Jewish, whatever you are, then they will react badly. They'll flip on you. It's just that basic.
But do you get the point I just made? Depending upon the perception of the recipient, we're not talking legal language, you know.
So, excuse me?
Depending upon the perception of the recipient,
yes,
that's the person receiving whatever you're saying. Every person can perceive it differently. So based upon what you said, I see your warning as a threat that someone is going to hurt or injure Bob.
Right, so I've got no intelligence on that, okay, but I'm just saying, based on, say, what happened down here to, what's her name, Hashton? Like somebody flipped, didn't they? Like somebody flipped.
Well, I don't drill holes in Qurans and burn them, so I think that'll be pretty easy.
Right, but if you incite people, they may come back at you, that's all it is.
How do you define incite?
Like, if I sit here and I push your camera over and like
that's a bit
insult
different.
you, no,
That's a bit different to burning a
no, but it would be incite. No, it would be insightful.
No, but can you at least agree with me?
Go on.
For example, insulting a fictitious prophet from the 7th century,
mate,
who isn't yourself, or burning your own property.
I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
See, people come to Speaker's Corner, they debate you throw their own arguments back at them, you contradict them, and then they walk off, and then they'll be back.
Write it in if you're gonna like, if you're gonna chuck it, you bring it back, otherwise you're getting used. It's that simple.
By who? I do everything of my own volition. In fact, people tell me stop doing that. You're crazy. Like, I honestly think that people think I'm being used and groomed, but you think like people tell me to do this insane nonsense. I do it myself.
I've asked you, or we at Urban Scoop have asked you to do something, and you've agreed to do so, and we've run it through legally, and adults are involved. Can you tell people what you will be doing from the first Sunday of every month starting from November?
Yeah, we will be doing Change My Mind stands on countless different topics. Just of course, a lot of American Republican style politics has been discussed after the recent passing of Charlie Kirk. So I thought it might be interesting to kind of offer to Urban Scoop this opportunity to kind of take the experience I have at Speaker's Corner and professionalise it into some sort of platform. So yeah, it'll be between 1 and 4 on YouTube and Twitter page, just reporting, doing stands on different issues. It'll always be topical, so if migration is being talked about a lot, 1 month, then I'll do a stand on that. If, for example, Palestine Action has been talked about in one particular month, I'll be doing a stand on that. So it's topical, it's reactionary, it's proactive, and you're going to see the insane characters that are typically at the corner and new faces whenever I do them.
So let's talk about being proactive.
Yes.
And I know we got 1,000 people currently watching you on YouTube. I won't look at Twitter yet. So the people on YouTube, go into the and pose your questions to Bob, and I will ask Bob your questions. So go into the YouTube chat, ask questions, and I will try to answer them of Bob. And Cool Cat has said, good stuff, brother Wendell. And Bella Donna has said, we have your back, Bob. Be happy and free. Andy Stewart has said, keep up your great work, guy. Superb. Big up. So how do you feel, Bob? All of the people in the chat love you. Why do they love you so much, man?
It's because I get around quite a lot, so of course that kind of influences people's opinions about myself. So yeah.
So here's a question. D-Man, big up. What books, what writers does Bob like to read? And I thought you read Mayfair, Pornhub and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, the best thing I like reading is church fathers and Greek philosophers, and the reason being is because a lot of church fathers are convinced that not only does the Old Testament point to the cross, but also a lot of Greek pagan philosophy. So if you read an extract of Plato's Republic, he says that if there will ever be a perfect man who dwells upon us, he will be humiliated and crucified. And a lot of the times when Plato talks about like the perfect form of things, it's typically also being used in our understanding of what Christ is, the anthropos, the whole man. So a lot of Greek philosophers like Galen, Plato, Homer, people like that, and also church fathers, some of baptismal Saint Gregory the theologian, his homilies, Saint John of Damascus, and the heresy of Ishmaelite, and the heresy of the Egyptians. Those are good books.
So Gareth Evans has said we have 10,200 on Twitter. Dave Young has said, Bob, are you fearful? Do you have security?
I have security for a lot of my events now. I'm never really fearful if anything really happens. Fortunately, it's always to my back, so I never really see it. And secondly, you consent to this whenever you do outlandish things like this. So.
Watching daily at Wisdom's Gates has said, Bob, are you going to focus on the gospel?
Yeah, I think a lot of the times people critique me and saying my politics kind of dilutes my sort of evangelism I used to do quite strongly at Speaker's Corner. But like, if you look a lot of the times behind the scenes especially, a lot of conservatives who've never really been asked the question of whether they go to church then start to have that discussion after. So although it's not really publicized, especially privately, it's actually more convincing. I mean, most Muslims will never come to Christianity, but a lot of conservatives will.
Midas Touch has said, young Bob is a legend. Big up.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't think I am yet. I have to prove it and work through the ranks. But
so Felix Mitchell has said, big up your chest, Bob.
Thank you.
Jojo Mansoon, Bob is fantastic.
Thank you.
Sky Lee, love you brothers Wendell and Bob, you are awesome. If we're that good, give me some money, man. Just transfer a little 50 grand and we'll be even happier. Big up. Let me see. So House of Pisces has said, what's Bob predictions for the next 10 years?
Civil discourse until 2029, then I think depending on the outcome of the election is a complete depression. I think that's an easy way of getting out of this current state we are in politically, but whether people will take it is a different thing. And the longer you wait, the more drastic the action you have to take becomes, and then people will eventually become like political nihilists. Don't really see any need to take that drastic step. So it really depends on how the government is going to respond. I think, for example, the introduction of social IDs, and also the recent announcement from Shameen that she's going to take power to stop reoccurring and also unauthorized protests to get authoritarian.
So Sarah C has said, are you not feeling chilly, Bob?
Yes.
So Sarah C, come down and warm him up, man. Do you need a hug from Sarah C?
I don't know you, so unfortunately I'll be a bit uncomfortable.
I'm looking at some questions. They all love you. Young Bob is fantastic. Little Bob, big warrior. And Miss Ann Thorpe has said, is Bobby a Catholic?
I'm Eastern Orthodox.
What's the difference?
The papacy and the filioque laws.
Dr. Mr. Joel has said, young Bob should do a US tour.
Not right now, pretty insensitive.
Yeah.
Opportunistic in my opinion. But in the next few coming years, maybe if I don't get charged for anything, that could be a possibility.
I'm looking for some more. So all I can say, Bob, Yam has said, Bob Turning Point UK, is it still going?
Yeah, of course. We just announced at our recent conference that I'll be doing stands, and by I think Saturday or Sunday I'll be releasing the first campus debate stand, and I can't say where, and I can't say when I'm doing it.
Of course. Tommy Bones has said, does Bob make music?
No. I mean, I think it'd be funny to do some sort of parody sketch, but besides from that, I'm not really a musician.
So Bailey and Fred has said, Bob, you are a posh boy. Love it. You know your stuff. Are you posh, Bob?
I'm not posh. I lived in a caravan for like 3 years. I'm not like one of these posh twats that kind of like randomly like to symbolise that I'm poor to get people on side, but I'm actually legitimately working class. I just kind of consumed a lot of rhetoric from other people that made me sound like it.
So Jason Hughes has said, Wendell and Bob are legends. Amanda, love young Bob. Are you still homeless? That's the question.
Can't really say anything. Try not to. Yeah.
In a minute. Redeemer Joker has said Bob is a Charlie Kirk.
I'm my own man. There's a small line between inspiration and plagiarism. I'm not trying to plagiarise the legacy of a dead person, because I imagine their wife wouldn't really like to hear that someone else is going on social media claiming to be the second version of their dead husband. And also I'm young Bob.
Master Mark said, Bob, how do you feel about Digi ID?
It's a pathetic attempt for Keir Starmer to kind of be seen as this Tony Blair figure in politics, and it could be used later down the line as a bit of a way of controlling people.
I'm going to come. Does Bob support Israel and Zionism? That's from Greg Thompson.
I don't really like to speak on Israel and Palestine. It's honestly an issue that because activists who are like white savior complex, like justice warriors, kind of just completely ruined the need for me to either support each side. I work domestically on Britain.
Someone has said we should put the Save Young Bob link in the YouTube chat, and I would agree with that. I'm going to come to you in a minute, sir. I'm just saying, so, and the final one is, big up Young Bob. Sir, you want to ask a question?
What's the difference between child marriage or underage sex in Britain?
In Britain, well, the age of consent within Britain is 16, and that is commonly, and it derives from the kind of Greek understanding of what it means to be past youth. So,
But I know people, you have underage, you have a 6 boys on here, and you have an incest on this one.
yeah, I think it's wrong, it's immoral, it's illegal.
So against the law?
Yes, against the law. Do you agree with marrying children?
The wrong.
Yeah.
There's no time.
Sir, I'm not putting a camera. Your head is about 30,000 people watching, and you're saying no cameras. Sir, step there. I'm not putting a camera. I'm putting a microphone. Ask a question.
Hi. With the kind of frequent amount of extremist attacks in Britain, do you feel like in the future this will be more common or less common?
They'll be common, but fortunately, they do pose a big risk to life. But unlike the States, you're not going to see like planes crashing into buildings. You'll just see like pathetic arson attacks and like stabbings, which you already do on the street. So you'll see terrorist attacks. The size of them will just be stabbings and arson attacks. That sort of small, pathetic attempt of terrorism, which you don't really get this big stale of.
Ask you, Bob, what was your feeling when you heard of the atrocities that took place in Manchester a few days ago, and then we subsequently found out quite quickly that one of the deceased was accidentally shot by a firearms officer?
Well, there's been local interviews with many of the neighbours of the individual who was actually shot. The story goes that he was trying to block the entrance of the attacker into the synagogue whilst there was a bunch of worshippers. So it's a real image of the desperation of a man just trying to worship God. And if it is true that he was very much a community-centred man, that's a great loss within Manchester. And unfortunately, that sort of character, that sort of degree of piety that man possessed, will be used by people, which I think is incredibly unfortunate.
Yeah. All right then, Bob. As normal, all I can say is thank you very much for engaging with me. I'm now going to engage with a dodgy geezer next to you, and if you go around,
Roll my eyes. I'm just going to put my cup.
roll your what? I thought you said something else. I'm not even going there. So Steve, if you move around slightly. Yeah, so Steve, good afternoon. How you keeping, sir?
Not too bad, thank you very much.
So, hold on. I was inquiring this morning, why didn't I see you in Trafalgar Square being arrested yesterday with the Palestinian Action supporters, and I heard you were elsewhere?
Well,
Why was you missing from action, and then you turn up in Whitehall a few hours later after I'd gone home?
For starters, I try not to support prescribed terror groups, that's for one. And for second, I was up in Manchester visiting Manchester University with my son. Went up Friday, came back yesterday afternoon. But I was watching it all going on live stream, sitting on the train, and I thought, isn't that sad? And thought I'd head into London because it was still going on in Whitehall.
Yeah. I saw the last hour or two of it.
So you were itching and being tickled, and you felt it was necessary that you came down to Whitehall because you was missing all of the action. When you saw all of those, that's someone just trying to show off. They're driving a Ferrari or what, it's not even theirs. But how did it make you feel, Steve? Oh, you're next, black man. Hey, I can say that. Hey, you. Can you imagine how they're mashing up that engine? So how did you feel yesterday when you saw...
Well, so what I witnessed was Palestine people being arrested. What I saw was a completely separate group of
Palestine supporters who I was told by friends that they tried to march up Whitehall, completely unauthorised, illegal march. You cannot do a march without authorisation, especially not in Whitehall.
Is that because of the security implications? And it's
my understanding of the law is that you need permission to do a march anyway. You don't need permission for a static protest anywhere, but you do need permission for a march. I think that's irrespective of where it is. But obviously they were doing it in Whitehall. But again, they were fighting with the police. So, you know, these so-called peaceful marches that we're told repeatedly aren't really hate marches. They were fighting actively with the police. They were actively chanting for international or global intifada. And I think we all know what a global intifada looks like. It's a state of violence and terror. And the police were trying their best to control them. And they were kettled for a while. As soon as that police kettle opened up, they then tried to start marching off again. So the police had to stop them again. So it's mainly white middle-class lefties who think they can repeatedly who think they can repeatedly bring the streets of inner London to a standstill.
Are you telling me there were no black middle-class people there?
I didn't see any.
No, I didn't see any.
I was at home.
And the other thing was, exactly as when I was in Kensington High Street on the 9th of October, 2 days after the 7th of October.
Hold on. Hold on. We were.
You were there too.
Right, okay.
As I witnessed with my own eyes on the 9th of October 2020, what year was it? 2 years ago. 23. When 2 days after the October 7th, when Israel had not lifted a finger, not one of these so-called babies had been genocided, the Palestinian supporters in Kensington High Street were partying, were celebrating. Exactly the same as yesterday. The atmosphere was one of a party. They were dancing, they were singing, they were celebrating. There was no sorrow and remorse for the killing of babies. It was a celebration, it was a party. And that happened, not yesterday, but when it happened on Thursday night, before the blood of slaughtered Jews was even cold. Not all of them, but these people are wicked, evil bastards, and we have to stop them doing what they're doing every week on the streets of London. They're not sorrowful for the death of babies. They are celebratory for the death of Jews. That is clear. That is clear to me. So let's stop this nonsense about them. They are hate marches who are calling for global intifada. What the hell is the Metropolitan Police allowing them to do this week in, week out?
They get overtime. They get overtime by.
Believe me. You look at these police officers. Speak to these police officers. Read what the Police Federation tweeted yesterday. The head of the London Police Federation tweeted yesterday. These police are not enjoying it. These police are disgusted.
They
they're
love
having
the
to
money.
do what they do.
They love the overtime. That's why they queue up to do it.
The Police Federation, which is the equivalent of the police union, are not happy with it. I trust their view more than your view on this.
But no, it doesn't work like that. But tell me something, Steve,
It's Jew hate. It's pure and simple Jew hate.
What do you have to say about Donald Trump arguing that fire and brimstone and all hell was going to break loose?
They have got the best peace deal on the table they've ever had. Hamas are refusing to accept it. Hamas don't want peace. Hamas don't want babies stopping being killed.
What newspaper
Hamas
have you been reading
to
that
kill
Hamas
or
is
throw out
refusing
every
to accept?
Jew from the streets of Israel? That's all Hamas want, which is why they're refusing every peace deal that's given them. They've been given peace deals year after year. Hamas do not want peace. Hamas would not hide their weaponry under hospitals, under schools if they wanted. Hamas are wicked and they will be destroyed and ended forever. The people of Palestine do not support Palestine.
Was it just over 1,000 people in Israel, yes or no?
Hamas killed...
On October the 7th, how many people were killed?
Over 1,000.
How many people have
And not
been...
just, can we just say, not
No,
just
no,
killed,
listen.
raped and paraded through the street
Let's
with
agree.
blood dripping down their fucking trousers.
Yeah, let's agree.
These people are barbarians.
Let's-
And yet people on the left say, oh, we must let them come to Britain. Let these Jew-hating vile scum come to my home. No way. No way. The Jewish people of Britain feel less safe today in Britain than they would in Israel. I know personal Jews that returned home to Israel because they fear their safety in Britain. Britain, our country, your country, my country. And these people are too terrified to live here because anti-Semitism now is so rife. Every synagogue in this country has security on its doors. Mosques don't need that. Don't talk to me about Islamophobia. Mosques do not need security on their doors because they're scared of people coming in and killing them. Jewish people do, and they have needed security on their doors for years, not just now.
In closing, Steve, I concur with most of the things you've said, but it is important for me to check what you say. But let's go back to the point I was making. On October the 7th, Hamas killed, raped, murdered, etc., etc., over 1,000 Israelis. Yes or no?
Yes.
As a direct result, Israel has killed over 100,000. Is that justified?
Israel is protecting itself. Israel is defending itself. What can Israel do? An enemy plants their weaponry above children, above hospitals. What is Israel supposed to do? When Hamas has used every penny of charity that they've been given on building tunnels, putting that military network underground. I've heard there are more tunnels in Palestine than there are in Britain. Who knows whether that's precisely true. But they've got many tunnels there. What is Israel supposed to do to defend itself? Every Israeli has a bomb bunker. Why is that? They have the dome. Why is that? Because they're surrounded by people that want to destroy them, that want to banish them from that part of the land. What are they supposed to do?
The gentleman here wants to make a comment. The reason I stopped you, I need sound.
I'd like to ask Palestine and Israel, and not so much here, but I think the problems lie in this country for the British people. What's happening in this country, what is going on right now with the grooming gangs, Islamophobia, all kinds of crap going on in this country. Women getting slaved, put on crack cocaine, grooming gangs, and it's not just Asians, man. Police as well that are with it. Yeah, I'm from Bradford, bro. Let me say something, yeah. These scummy social service took my kid off me for being white, for being right, you know what I'm saying? And they're fucking up for that stuff. I want to know what people are going to do about this country. Put this country first. Leave their problems. If it's their problems, our f***ers are going in our country knocked in the process. Because I'm our country's getting knocked right in front of our eyes. Listen, knocked in front of our eyes. I want to know when the people are going to stand up and fight the problems in this London, Bradford, everywhere else is happening up and down the country. For British moral, for British right. Come on, what is going on? Completely. It's all a smoke screen, man. Can I answer? It's sinking, man.
Can I answer?
The country's sinking.
You are right. I agree with you. Were you over there when I was up on the ladder over there? Well, I was up on the ladder over there not 20 minutes ago saying exactly what you're saying. This country is screwed on so many fronts. And the Labour Party, the Conservative Party aren't making it better, they're making it worse. My priority, like your priority, is this country. Much more. I get fed up to the back too. And hearing here at Speaker's Corner people talk about Palestine, talk about Israel.
So we need to
concentrate on Britain. I wholeheartedly agree with you.
I'll have a talk we have to.
Big up. Did you want to ask something, sir? Steve, come here. I need good sound, man. We're not amateurs. What do you want to say?
What I'm saying is, Palestine fighting.
We're sending millions and millions of pounds of foreign aid every year to some of these countries, whilst people are on the street, or people are waiting months and months for cancer treatment. They're there is a whole shed load of things that are wrong in this country, and we don't see much improvement. We don't see it being tackled. So again, I agree with you. We must focus on dealing with the problems here before. Stop agreeing. People do agree on this basic point, but unfortunately, I have to say, I'm not personally they still voted for these clowns that are doing this. These clowns that are not making.
Were you this worked
No,
30 years ago?
no.
So now we have to listen to you preach that you were here. Now, whereas you had the opportunity years ago to participate in what would have happened by letting these people into your country and running it into the ground.
It's not just about letting people into this country.
Okay. Correct me.
Some people on my side of politics don't like what I'm about to say. I firmly believe immigrants have helped build this country. Immigrants have helped make this country great. Immigrants are people that make this country great. But the problem is, if you look at the rate of immigration, it's been like this for decades and decades and decades. Now it's gone like that. That's the problem. We're letting in too many people. We're letting in way more, way faster than we ever have before. And surprise, surprise, things are now going wrong. And I'm not just talking about illegal immigration, I'm talking about legal immigration. Our whole immigration system is to say that is anti-immigrant. Even I moved from a very white area to a very non-white area. I do enjoy living with people of other backgrounds. It's not a bad thing.
My question is, did the system suddenly get broken? Now we're talking about something that has progressed over a period of time. It's gotten to the point where you've had enough and you can't bear it anymore.
Have you heard of the boiling frog syndrome? Where if you boil a pot and throw a frog into it, it immediately jumps out in reaction because it doesn't like the heat. Put that frog in a nice, cold, lukewarm pan of water, slowly increase the temperature, you end up boiling the frog. That is what has happened in this situation. If they did it like that, we would have all noticed, we would have all jumped out of the hot water. It's been gradual and steady, and now it's getting to a point where the population of Britain, in general, realises how bad it's got. And you're right, you can stand there and say we should have realised earlier. You probably should.
I'm just asking. But you can anticipate if you stick a frog in 100 degrees C water, ultimately you're going to get a boiled frog. That's what I'm alluding to. That you're about this. You allowed it to happen. It got ushered in. Here you are.
I agree. We should have been aware earlier. It's been a slow, steady change.
Can I ask you a question on a different issue, but it's relevant? And let me move round slightly because of the sun in your eyes. Yeah. Your argued would stop the boats. They've bloody increased. So did he not sell a pup to the people of this country?
Do you think that reality would still be the reality if Nigel had won and Reform had won the last general election or the general election before that? Do you think that would have still been a reality?
I've no idea. All I'm arguing is, Nigel said it would end, but it hasn't.
It's like, to me, the answer to that is really, really clear. Yeah, he campaigned for Brexit, and Brexit won. Brexit won in that referendum. The biggest point of democracy we've ever had in the country. More people voted for that answer than have ever voted for anything before. And then eventually it happened. I mean, it took the Conservative Party many, many years for it even to happen. Now it has happened on paper. We're no longer part of the EU. What's happened since? What have the politicians, whether Conservative or Labour, done? They've not nodding the smiling. They have not applied Brexit. We still have pretty much all the same rules, all the same regulations, whether it's employment or anything else, as we had before. So therefore, yes, we have suffered some negative consequences of Brexit, but we haven't taken advantage of all the benefits of Brexit, because our politicians, in my estimation, never really wanted Brexit. So that's why they've not had a bonfire with all the regulations. Because they all, Conservative Labour, want to take us back in.
They don't want to move us away too far. So therefore, we haven't taken any of the benefits, or very few. We have got trade deals. I mean, there are people that argue that the COVID system may be unpopular, but the COVID vaccine rollout is much more successful because of Brexit. A lot of people will be against the COVID vaccine. But basic point, we haven't taken the advantages that we should have. But we've suffered some consequences of it. That doesn't make the Brexit decision wrong or poor. It just means the politicians haven't had the backbone to apply it, but they never really wanted it.
Are you smiling because there's going to, you know, your party's getting ready for the elections? Are you smiling?
You what? Of course I'm smiling. I mean, look at the by-election, week on week on week. There's a really nice graph that in colour shows you all the colours of the party a couple of years ago, and now all the colours of the party winning by-elections now. Reform are winning by-election after by-election, as I said earlier, with massive swings, like 40, 50, 60% swings against both Labour and Conservative. You know, there are seats that have always been Labour that are now Reform. There are seats that have always been Conservative that are now Reform. People are seeing it. People aren't seeing through these lies of the uni party anymore. So that success, there's no sign of it diminishing. There's no sign of the polls diminishing. It's up, up, up and up.
Do you think IC3 would make a good politician in your party?
Possibly.
Possibly. Okay. Of course. British values.
Because he talks a lot about British values.
That's right. Would you accept that?
He's certainly got the passion and the drive.
And the energy too. I agree with some of what he says. Not of all of what he says.
Not all of. Okay, but you would agree that.
I think you could represent. I believe you could represent your local constituents, your local people in your ward very well.
Yeah, but I think we disagree here with whiteness is an aspect of British whiteness that you would disagree with that.
It's a ganja war.
Whiteness as a value of British.
Colour is not a value.
That's an atheist ward. That's a ganja ward.
Well,
what did Martin Luther King tell us?
Well, that's American. We're talking about UK here. We're talking about the British here.
He made a point. Judge me by the content of my character, not the colour of my skin. Is that not an important thing?
Yes, it is. But we're talking about British value. But that makes you an enemy of the state. But that makes you an enemy of the state because British.
No. That's the sentiment of a white nationalist. It does not make you the enemy of the state.
Okay. According to the...
You are, and can be, as British as I am. Full stop.
Oh, now, that statement doesn't align with British values.
And he lives in a middle class area like me.
Yeah, so what you're saying is makes you an enemy of the state.
No, where'd you get that from?
Okay. Is it not true?
An enemy?
Okay. Is it not true that white people are accepted? Race is an aspect of British law. Yes? Race.
What are you guys going on about?
Protected. Yeah, oh, how you doing? Yeah, I got back up here.
What's going on?
Right. So
he's saying,
look.
He's saying,
here's the statement. Britishness.
He's arguing the Equality Act is part of the law.
Yeah, British.
So what does the Equality Act say?
Let's slow down.
Don't discriminate on the basis of ethnicity, whether you're white, black, or anything else.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I'm saying, here's the statement. British whiteness is an aspect of Britishness because...
no, we don't like that anymore, though.
Not anymore. When did it change?
You know, about 40 years ago.
When?
40 years ago.
40 years ago. So why?
It has changed since, I'm guessing your parents came here.
Yes, that's right. Yes, from Jamaica.
So,
yes.
You know, if you have children, if you have grandchildren, if you have great-grandchildren, at any point along that chronology, do you think your great-great-grandchildren ever? I would hope.
It's a way of staying, isn't it?
Okay, but we've got to use the British codes, and there's no code for Black British.
No, okay. It's the same code as for me. It's the same code as for me. How is your code different to my code?
Because the white man.
Stop just saying about the colour. In reality, in detail, how is my code different to your code?
Because IC1 stands for
That's a label. It's a label.
Yeah, but it's a government label. It's
It's a label used by the police to help identify a potential criminal.
Yes, and it's related to the civil service.
It's like saying you're 5'10" or 5'2".
Okay.
Of no more worth.
Yes,
there's no more worth than height.
How could you say there's no more worth in?
It's a label like a height.
Race.
You're not saying
ethnicity.
Well, there's a code for 5'2" people.
There's a code for but white people are officially recognised by the state.
Well, maybe 5'2" people.
Well, there's no code. There's no code that says about height. There's code. There's a protection
you just say
for
the
race.
number. You just say the number.
Yes.
So they give these letters and numbers.
Yes, but the police use these functionally.
How do they?
How do they use?
Well, IC3s are overrepresented in the criminal justice system. Yeah. So, what we're saying is...
But again, it's just generalising, because within IC3, when it's like African Caribbean, so is that inclusive of a Jamaican and a Nigerian? Is a Nigerian under that?
Yeah, come under IC3, correct.
Right.
That's right, that's the...
So, really saying a Caribbean is the same as a Jamaican... sorry.
So, can you speak to the reform?
No, I can speak for myself.
But you're a representative of Reform UK.
I don't come here as a representative of Reform.
Alright, okay, so you don't speak of Reform UK, what
I can talk about what they stand for.
Okay. Do they stand for British values?
They do,
British
but
values?
as Nigel Farage has said time and time again, it doesn't matter what your ethnicity is, what your sexuality is, what your religion is, if you stand for British values. He's repeated that frequently.
Right. And white identity and whiteness is an aspect of British values. So yes.
And so is black British.
Of course. Oh, there's no.
But why focus on that?
No
why divide us? Why divide us?
This is code. This is from the UK. I'm just raising awareness of British values. And why do you
not related to this? What about all these people in the IC6, the mixed race people?
Oh yeah,
in your worldview, they must all be very confused people.
In the UK, British worldview, they can't be British.
But are they confused in your world?
Well, it's not my world. I'm only talking about the British world.
It is your world.
I'm not talking about the
interpretation of the world.
Yeah, well, I'm only raising awareness of British values.
Well, I want to raise height. How that happens.
Oh, well.
Maybe short people might have to.
But there's no codification for height in the UK. Where? Yeah, but states, as height is a matter of equality.
All I'm trying to point out is height is as meaningless as ethnic background.
Height is as meaningless as ethnic background.
If you're a British patriot that loves this country, abides by the law, pays your taxes, gets along with people, then you are as British as I am. I mean, look at cricket, for goodness sake.
Okay.
Historical British game.
Yes.
Loved by the Western.
Yes.
But that doesn't really help your argument.
Oh, so because black people say like cricket, does that mean
It might not be the Scottish.
But anyway, thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you very much, Steve. So for those of you who are watching, my name is Wendell Daniel, and welcome to Urban Scoop, and we're coming to you live on direct, live on direct on Tommy Robinson's YouTube channel and also on Tommy Robinson's Twitter page. And today we're only here until 4 p.m. 4 p.m. I'm gone because tomorrow I'm live streaming a wedding in a barn. Can you imagine that? Normal people get married in a church or a registry office. Tomorrow I'm live streaming a private wedding in a barn. Who's ever heard of something like that? So if you're in the chat now, if you've ever heard of a wedding in a barn, go in the chat and tell me. Anyway, the reason I do goes. But it's my unique identifier. When you hear and all of these citizen journalists, they're all started doing it now. They're all saying live, live, live. You're enjoying yourself down at Speaker's Corner. I'm going to let you. You're enjoying yourself down at Speaker's Corner. I'm going to let you get some religious foolishness now and some all kind of rubbish that's going on down there. Foolishness now and some all kind of rubbish that's going on down there. But 4 o'clock, I'm gone. Big up.
I fucking lost my mind.
You are fucking
50
mad.
million.
You are a crackhead. You are a crackhead. See, we love him though. We see him every week, man. Thank you, sir. Say that again?
That's Jesse. Yeah, it's too hard. So when you need to be stable, you have to go for let me sort out something. Over there, yes, yeah?
For God so loved the world that he came because it was run by a Christian person. King James. King James, 1595. You don't know. Now, what's this guy? Let's teach you some more ganja. Let's teach you some ganja. Now, how are you from Muslim? Wait, listen. Who called us? I don't think so. Enough about your Muslim life. I think he is the president. Listen to what I'm saying. I don't know the Muslim. You know the right. No, listen. Ask me a question. I'm not going to ask you a question. Answer his question. Allah is God. How is that God? Allah.
I'm listening. What is he listening?
Wait. Calm down, bro. I hit him now. I hit him now. Now, 1610, the name Muslim was first used because it was Indian. You just got debunked because 1610. This is 1610 when King James of Scotland wrote the Bible. They had a disagreement with the King James Wales and Netherlands. Like take the Bible to the Roman Catholic. Now, why did England allow the Muslim them to worship in 1960? You just bring up the notes, so you can't lie. Because you was getting prosecuted in...
No, we were.
You were.
You wanted help from...
But he's saying that the Muslims help us.
He's telling you what's going on in England and you're trying to explain to him.
Bro, I know what I'm saying. I know what I'm saying.
Listen, in 1590, Muslim was here in England. No, he knows. He's got that. He's got. Come, tell him. Give him that history again. Give him that history. You need to get that history. So here,
are you talking about the Spanish?
Wait. No. So in 15...
Elizabeth wrote directly to the Ottoman.
Oh, is this during the Petition famine?
Yeah.
What year was that? 1570.
Yeah.
No, Queen Elizabeth. There was no Queen Elizabeth 1570.
It was a Muslim country.
So the Muslim them just create a lie. Queen Elizabeth is 14th century and Queen Elizabeth II is 18th century. Yeah, not 15. 14 because who? They don't know Mary Queen of Scotland, right? Mary Queen of Scotland, her family ruled UK from 12th century after Richard the Lionheart. So they're actually lying. Stop telling lies. The first time the name Muslim was mentioned is from British. British call you Muslim. It's not, you didn't yourself that name. It's the British who call you Muslim, meaning follower of Muhammad. It's history. It's actually that. Now, what's this? Let me explain. The word Muhammad. Can you have Muhammad without vowels? You can't have Muhammad without vowels, right? Now the vowels, what year did the vowels started in Arabia? I'm a historian. I'm not using religion, I'm just using history. No. Written vowel in text. Did you have a written Quran? In text. Don't lie. You wrote the book. So Allah never give you the book. You wrote the book with a pen. Surah 278 and 79. Who's illiterate? Wait, brother. Who's illiterate? Is Muhammad illiterate? Was Muhammad illiterate? Yes. So he couldn't read and write. So he wouldn't know the scripture. Yes? Surah 2. So woe to them who wrote a book with their hands. Okay. Have you got a Quran again? If I had a Quran, I'll show you from a Quran. I don't even like use phone. So no, alright, go to your phone. Al-Baqarah, go to your phone, Al-Baqarah. Right. Now Al-Baqarah 2 verse 17. You try to tell Lion the Christian, we have a book. God said, right? Jesus said, written in our book. You believe Jesus said? All you mean is not the prophet. Hold on. Jesus not the prophet. If Muhammad is the only prophet, he said that Muhammad is nothing.
Muslim 50-70.
You know about Allah.
What Jesus? What Jesus is a chicken. Jesus chicken. Come on, Jesus.
Shalom.
Show your best, Jesus.
Yeah. I'm talking to a mature person.
Come on, Jesus. Show your best.
No, it is.
No, what's pointless?
No. I am
talking. Come on, Jesus.
Just talking. I am
yeah, there is one God. Yeah. One God. And Islam stands for peace. Christianity stands for hell. And so hell. Christianity stands for hell. But Islam stands for
peace and justice.
Everybody.
You're killing people.
Yes, Allah loves everybody.
Yeah.
Allah is Jesus gives you what you do on this earth. You are perfect. But I can tell you something now. Try to tell you all something now. Allah said to me yesterday, England will become a Muslim country. Christianity is finished. It's finished. Christianity is finished. It's finished. La ilaha illallah. Muhammad, please be unsaved. Christianity is over. You lose Christianity. You are a loser.
What are you talking about?
Jesus is the devil. Jesus is Satan. You are worshipped by the grace of Allah. Jesus never was made by Allah. Never. He's the one. Jesus is Satan.
You get robbed, bro!
Allah is one who feeds you every day, who clothes you every day, who sends you work every day. So come on, Jesus devil, are you going to beat Muhammad? Can you beat Muhammad?
Excuse me, can I answer a question? Look at the camera. Wendell Daniel from Street Light Streamer, just let you know.
Yes.
About 30,000 people are watching you.
MashaAllah.
Yeah. But what I want to know, how come such a beautiful young lady like you, how comes you are supporting the religion you're supporting, and you've got the fire in you?
Do you know what it is, guys? I live in Africa. I twice in Africa. I almost died in Africa twice. But guess who saved my life?
Yeah.
Allah.
Yeah.
Creator.
How did he save you? What did he do?
He woke me up. He woke me up.
Show me how he woke you
Mashallah.
up.
I died.
Yeah.
But after God said, this is not your time, Mariama. Wake up.
Yeah, ganja, you gone from the brain.
Allah God.
It's true.
Yes, I died.
She's talking sense.
God
I love her.
took me back up again and said, Mariam,
Mashallah.
No.
rise up. Christians, I'm going to tell you something
You
now.
were smoking.
You are lost.
If you ganja, if you smoking crack, you ganja. If you still smoking, we don't smoke.
If I get to real, don't say Allah, just crack.
Yeah.
You
We don't smoke crack.
I said you were smoking.
Don't
You
call
still
Allah
smoke.
by smoking crack, okay? Allah doesn't do drugs. Allah doesn't
Exactly. Halal, clean living.
We don't judge.
Kosher
We love
living.
everybody.
Yeah.
All right, let me talk about the love she talks about.
Ooh, love.
He's loving,
The
he's
love
not
of
loving.
Yes, the love of the Almighty.
The love of Allah is reflected in the middle belt of Nigeria as we speak today, and the northern part of Nigeria. Since 2009 to 2025,
Yeah.
your wonderful Allah promoted and
Crazy man,
advanced
is you doing
the
it.
killing
Ruling
of
by the Christians.
185 people in Nigeria.
It's the
The
Christian ruling by
destruction of 18,000 churches.
How did he kill them?
And you know what makes it even bizarre? 60,000 of the 185,000, 60,000 of them are Muslims.
That's what you said to come to my country.
125,000
You get
of them
asylum, that's what
are
you
Christians.
say. To come to my country.
Are raping
So,
children
excuse me,
every
let me
day.
finish, let me
Beating
finish.
their wives
Let me
is Christian.
Yeah.
Christians, repent.
Getting drunk and
Your
beating up
people,
your wife.
that is a Muslim, to rape in a war, to rape women, as well as to sleep with children.
No, it's you.
Married a who? Married Aisha at the age of 3 or 6 years old.
18.
No,
21 as well.
6 years old.
You're a liar,
Muhammad said,
Anger, the sort of
because you will be judging your
the religion of peace has been showing so much hatred in Nigeria for almost 200 years. It has been killing and wiping out Christians all over Nigeria, in particular in the middle belt of Nigeria and in the north of Nigeria. That is the religion of that is the religion of peace. And it's a reflection of what was done in Medina. To the Jews, more than 700 Jews.
King Murad II saved this country. Muslim man saved my country. King Murad II, 1570.
Let's talk about Jesus Christ and Muhammad.
Yeah.
God bless you. I close my case.
God don't bless you. God don't bless you. Mariam dressed like that. Mariam.
I am covered in my body.
Mashallah.
I am covered in my body. I'm not showing nothing.
Exactly.
I'm not showing no Christians wearing short skirts. Christians are
He wants to. He wants to show his wife. Boom boom. Why you want to show your wife? Boom boom. Yeah.
This is want to attack my that's what I stand with Allah.
Tell me about your
Ask him. Why? Yeah. Well done. Why you want to show your wife? Yeah.
We stand for Allah. We stand for Muhammad.
Why you want to show your wife? Boom boom. Why you want to show your wife? Boom boom. Modesty, like Mariam. Princessy. Modesty. Why you want to show boom? Exactly. That's what I said to him.
All right, what he said.
Buddha.
My name is Kutam. There's Allah here. You don't need right arm.
Jesus say Allah. God. Jesus say Allah.
What did Jesus say? What did he say, God?
That's the name of your God. That's the name of your God.
Allah in Arabic.
Take a look at this. That's the name of Muhammad. Muhammad's name is here. And this is Allah.
Number 6.
This is Allah.
You're making all this up.
Allah has 2 right arms.
I feel sorry for you guys. You are going to hell. You're going to hell. You're going to
Listen. All I'm going to say on live TV.
Yeah.
Listen very quietly.
Where are you?
What I'm going to say right now.
My sister.
The Christians are very bad and rude.
You are rude.
Christians go.
We don't worship our God.
Allah says today that all England is going to come to Islam if they like it or not. And I'm speaking. My name is Mariama Aisha. I am from Africa, in Gambia. And God sent me here to do a mission.
Mashallah.
Listen, He's lying. I'm not lying.
I was born in England.
No, I don't care. When you say you're Gambian, you're lying. You're not Gambian.
So listen, people, all I'm going to tell you now, Islam is number 1. You cannot beat Allah and you cannot beat Muhammad, peace on it. You can never. And my name is Mariama. And you can't
You got down.
I've been told you were born in Tottenham. Sure not.
No, I was born in Leeds United. The Christian family. But God did not make me a Christian. Allah made me a Muslim. And when you come to Allah, you have more power than the Christians. More power. More wisdom.
Where in Gambia are you from?
Banjul.
But where in Banjul? Where in Banjul?
Banjul.
Where?
Huh?
You Banjul! What is your tribe?
They are Muslims.
No,
My husband is from Muhammad.
No, what is your name? No. You are Gambian.
No, I said I was born in
What is the name of your... Don't do that. Don't ever do that.
Jesus Christ, Lord Jesus. Satan, Lord.
You don't like... I'm interested. Expose you as a liar and you become like a very violent.
And you become
violent.
Listen, Islam is going to rule the world. If you like it or not, it's going to rule the world. Allah said, your time is up. Tick tock. And then we thought that Jesus would come back. Last week, to rapture people, there's no rapture. It's your rapture. It's your rapture. Jesus cannot do nothing. He cannot do nothing. Isa is the one. Muhammad is the one. By the Almighty Allah. Jesus, back off, Jesus. Jesus, back off.
There was no Jesus anyway. There was no name Jesus.
La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Muhammadur Rasulullah. La ilaha illallah.
He was the false prophet. Muhammad is the false prophet. Muhammad is the false prophet. Allah is the false God.
Muhammad never died.
Where is Muhammad?
Do you know something? Muhammad never died. Muhammad never died.
Heaven, Maryam.
He's in hell, burning hell.
He's burning in hell.
He's burning in
He's with
hell.
Allah. All his flesh goes to the ground. But his spirit never died. But if you want to fight Muhammad,
if he's in heaven,
don't fight Muhammad.
Is he in heaven? He's drink your Buddha. Sister, he likes Buddha.
Muhammad is the false prophet.
Muhammad in heaven.
He's a false prophet.
Yes.
Is he having sex with so many women?
Never.
Is he crazy?
Allah. He's to the right and side.
Thank you, my darling.
Christians are evil.
1570. This was a Muslim country. 1570.
It is now still a Muslim country. And it still
Muslims are
is.
wicked, evil cult.
Christians
Under secular
Go and do your smoking.
ganja. Go and do your smoking.
He don't smoke, man. He don't smoke.
It's anti-Christ. They're going to
He never smoked.
I love exposing Muslims as the liars they are. I really enjoy exposing Muslims as the liars and degenerates they are. For liars and deceivers that they are. Just like they are false God Allah.
Don't drink your alcohol. Don't sex with people. That's not dirty. Christian.
This is haram.
Yeah.
This is haram.
You're haram. You're haram. Forget about it. Banjul woman. You're haram. Haram. We are from Banjul. We are from Banjul. So when you say you are from Gambia, you're Banjul.
Yes, Banjul. Yes. From Pittsburgh. Opposite the airport. I'm going back in 2 weeks.
I know.
But we've also done a lot of my last name is Steve. So my husband's dad.
But people don't care about that. They just use the name. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. The name of thing like places like
Come on, man. Come on.
Translated as Messiah. But I want to ask the Muslims. Why is the Islamic Jesus called the Messiah? Tell me why.
Why?
I want to know what the reason is.
He knows.
So he says Jesus was called
Al-Masih
because he spoke Aramaic. Does that mean that John, who was a contemporary of Jesus and also spoke Aramaic, should also be called Al-Masih?
That's a good question.
Why wasn't John the Baptist also called Messiah?
He knows.
The real reason is, ladies and gentlemen, is that Muslims don't know why they call Jesus the Messiah.
They don't know.
They don't know because their ignorant prophet borrowed a title that he heard from the Christians and he didn't understand why.
He didn't.
Jesus was called the Messiah.
He gave birth to her son.
Ibn Kathir stated,
what did he say?
That the title was ascribed to Isa because of his prophetic role. Now, wasn't John also a prophet? Why wasn't he called the Messiah? Wasn't David also a prophet? Why wasn't he called a Messiah? The Muslims are borrowing a term that they do not understand. The reason why Jesus was called the Messiah by the Christians is because he fulfilled the messianic prophecies of the Old Testament that a God-man would walk amongst us and that he would be king of Israel and that he would be the king of the world and that he would establish the kingdom of God on earth and that he would establish a new covenant. All of these things Muhammad was ignorant of when he called Jesus the Messiah. Another problem of the Islamic Messiah, ladies and gentlemen, is that according to the Quran, this Islamic Messiah brought an Injil, a gospel. This gospel, ladies and gentlemen, is unknown to history. Nobody knows about it. There are no fragments of it. Nobody quotes it. Nobody writes in favor of it.
or against it. History is completely silent, ladies and gentlemen, as to its existence. And yet the Quran claims that it does exist. That it did exist. And yet, ladies and gentlemen, we have the writings of Paul. We have the writings of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John in the New Testament, ladies and gentlemen. If we are supposed to believe that the Islamic Isa is a real person in history, why do they give him a title that they don't understand? Why do they ascribe to him a book to which there is no evidence of his existence? Ladies and gentlemen, no, ladies and gentlemen, a quarter of the world is ignorant. Ladies and gentlemen,
there they are.
A further problem of the Islamic Isa is that the Allah of the Quran promised that the Islamic Isa and his followers would be victorious over their enemies until judgment day. And yet, ladies and gentlemen, the Muslims admit that Pauline Christianity won against the Islamic Christianity, but won, ladies and gentlemen, against the Muslim followers of Isa. What is this telling us? This is telling us that Allah fails in his promises, that Allah lies to his followers. Ladies and gentlemen, why, oh Muslims, did the Muslim followers of your Isa, why were they beaten by the holy apostles of the one holy Catholic and Apostolic Church? Why, Muslims, do you believe in a book that you cannot find? Why, Muslims, do you title to Isa that you do not understand? Ladies and gentlemen, and yet we Christians understand the title Messiah. We understand giving the of his Gospels with us, ladies and gentlemen. We have, ladies and gentlemen, the victory of the Church over the Roman Empire, over all false religions.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, another problem with the Islamic Jesus
there's more.
is that the stories of his miracles as a child are copies of heretical Christian groups from the 3rd and the 4th century, like the Proto-Evangelium of James, like the Arabic Infancy Gospel. Allah plagiarizes these stories and adds them to his Quran. Ladies and gentlemen,
naughty!
Allah is a plagiarist,
naughty,
and a liar.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Allah failed in his promises.
He did.
Allah failed to preserve his book. Allah failed to explain the title Messiah.
That's right, Toe.
And yet, ladies and gentlemen, the stories we find in the Gospel do not have antecedents in other literature. Ladies and gentlemen, the stories of the Gospels are original. The Gospels demonstrate an understanding of why Jesus is called the Messiah. The Gospel survived, ladies and gentlemen, when the Injil did not. These are historical problems with the Islamic Jesus that these Muslims cannot defend.
You want to make up
Ladies
your
and
own
gentlemen.
religion, you people, 5 of you. Mark, Luke, Peter, John,
Another
all
problem,
made up
ladies
this
and
book. That's
gentlemen,
why. You don't want to
with
believe
the
in
Islamic
Jesus,
Jesus is
the
the historicity of the crucifixion. The crucifixion of the Lord Jesus Christ is identified in Josephus, in Tacitus, in Suetonius, in Clement of Rome, and in countless other sources that are both Christian, Jewish, and pagan, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
Dr. Bart Ehrman, a skeptic of the Christian faith,
What did he say?
points out that the one thing we can be sure of about Jesus Christ is that he died on a cross.
No!
But, ladies and gentlemen, Allah the great unknower, Allah the unknowing,
God died.
didn't know this.
God died.
He denies the crucifixion, ladies and
You
gentlemen.
are Jack Canori.
He denies it, and by denying it, presents himself as a deceiver, because he deceived Josephus and Tacitus and Suetonius and Pliny the Younger and Clement of Rome into believing that Christ was crucified. Ladies and gentlemen.
Macarena.
So let me ask the Muslims.
Ask it.
If Allah lied to the world for 700 years, how do you know he's not been lying to you for the last 1400?
He knows. He knows.
Because Jesus worshipped
So
Allah.
these are the problems.
Jesus said,
One,
God, what is God?
the
Allah
Muslims
is
call
Allah.
Isa the Messiah, but they cannot explain why Isa is the Messiah.
Nothing.
2, Muslims say Isa brought an Injil, but they cannot find that Injil. 3,
You hide it.
Muslims say that the Jewish followers of Jesus would be successful over their enemies, but history shows that the one holy Catholic Church was the victor over its enemies.
Correcto.
4, Allah admits to lying to the world against all the evidence that Jesus was crucified. Ladies and gentlemen, the 5th problem with the Islamic Jesus. Yes, JC, there's more.
Wow.
The 5th problem is that the Quran says Isa went to the Jews and brought the Injil to the Jews.
Okay.
But yet, the Quran commands the Christians to follow the Injil, not the Jews to follow the Injil.
Right.
Why?
Why?
If Allah sent Jesus to the Jews to bring an Injil to the Jews, why doesn't he command the Jews to follow the Injil?
That's right.
I challenge any one of you Muslims.
Him.
One of Muslims, show me the verse in your Quran where Allah commands the Jews to follow the Injil. He doesn't, because Allah was confused.
Confused,
ladies and gentlemen.
Confused.
Allah was mixed up, ladies and gentlemen.
Makes sense.
Let him talk and talk. And so, but we as Christians have none of these problems. We know Jesus is called the Messiah.
Right.
We know why and what message he brought in the Gospels. We know that he came to the Jews and he sent his holy church into the world. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no cognitive confusion in the Christian story.
3 million people
but there is cognitive confusion, ladies and gentlemen, in Islam.
Yeah.
And notice, the Muslims have no answer to any of the points that I've raised. Ladies and gentlemen,
no answer.
Do your research.
the sixth problem, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, 6.
With the Islamic Jesus, is that it cannot explain the surrounding facts that point to the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Tell me, Muslims, if Jesus was not crucified, why did Paul convert to Christianity after persecuting the church? Tell me, Muslims, if Jesus Christ did not rise from the dead, why did anyone claim to see the risen Jesus? Ladies and gentlemen,
end of time.
This is an indisputable fact of history. No historian denies the fact that people claimed to have seen the risen Jesus. Amongst them, Peter, James, Paul, Bartholomew, Barnabas, Thaddeus, others amongst 500. And yet, the Islamic Jesus cannot explain these post-mortem experiences. They can't. Ladies and gentlemen. They can't, Bob Sila. Another problem with the Islamic Jesus, ladies and gentlemen, is that the Islamic Jesus did nothing to deserve the anonymity of the Jewish community. What do Muslims claim about the Islamic Jesus? They taught the belief in one God, that he taught and confirmed the Torah, that he brought an angel that confirmed the Torah, ladies and gentlemen, and that he changed some of the food laws of the Torah. Let me be clear, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing about that Jesus would be worthy of death. Nothing. But yet, the Islamic sources say that the Jewish authorities sought his life. Why? They believed in one God. They confirmed the Torah. And changing the food laws would make you need education, not a heretic worthy of death.
Amen.
But furthermore, ladies and gentlemen, the Islamic Jesus said that one of his youngest followers should die in his place. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what the Islamic story is about Jesus. Why? Why did he have to die, ladies and gentlemen? Allah could have saved him, saved Jesus, without the need of anyone on the cross. And yet Muslims have to come up with an explanation for who died on the cross, ladies and gentlemen. And the problem with the Islamic Jesus is that they don't agree. Some say it was, some say an enemy or follower. Do you know his name or don't you know his name? Look alike. Thank you for admitting and telling the truth.
Well done. Thank you, Uncle Benedict.
So, let's be clear, ladies and gentlemen. For you to believe in the Islamic Jesus, you must believe that Allah doesn't understand the type of Messiah.
Nothing.
That Allah can't preserve his book. That Allah forgets who he gave the book to. That Allah can't protect his prophet without killing someone else. That Allah can't keep his promises to ensure that his followers were successful like he promised them that they would do. That Allah can't get his story straight about who died on the cross. That Allah, ladies and gentlemen, can't satisfactorily explain why Paul converted to Christianity, or why Christians started honouring Sunday as a holy day, or why, ladies and gentlemen, Christians believe in the post-mortem experience of Jesus Christ in the first century, ladies and gentlemen. But let us be clear, Christians have none of these problems.
Nothing.
Our Jesus makes sense of the history. It makes sense of the evidence. It is internally coherent in the terms that it uses and why it uses them, ladies and gentlemen. And there is not a Muslim in this park that can defend the Islamic Jesus against the Jesus of the New Testament. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, thank you.
Your word is shining, but your heart is dark. That's a prophet to the Prophet Muhammad. Your heart is dark, but your word is shining among the people because you're going to hell.
Any questions, ladies and gentlemen?
Pastor, you can't be a pastor.
Any questions?
That's what Jesus looks like.
You drunk, brother?
I'm not drunk. I don't drink. I don't drink. You want to drink?
Ladies and gentlemen, any questions?
Dress properly.
Any questions, ladies and gentlemen?
Bob, the family says that you are epic. Not questions, but you are epic.
Okay, any questions? Not fan mail. Any questions on the presentation?
I wish I could help you from
fans. Bob,
I'm not taking questions from him.
That crazy Uncle Benefits.
Help, fine. You are definitely going to help. I'm giving you all the This is no. This is
why are Muslims calling us the Messiah?
Why is a Messiah a messenger?
No! A Messiah is the one who is anointed. So he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Nothing.
He's a messenger.
So, are you
his name was never Jesus. His name was Yeshua. Yeah.
Welcome to the zone. The reason why Allah show me some evidence to have a verse from the Quran where Allah says, you are my Messiah. Listen to the question. You are my Messiah because I have stolen anything like that.
Bring the Bible. Where's your Bible? I will read for you the Bible.
Read it in context.
646. You kept quiet, Buddha.
Yeah, you keep quiet.
It said, Luke 6.
Uncle.
You're not listening.
No, this is your answer. Okay, so don't answer my first question.
Okay.
So let me move on. What are you doing? Let me move on. Let me answer. What was the question? What was the question?
Jesus said, don't call me Lord.
No, I didn't. What I'm asking the Muslim brother to do is to show me in a or a tough spear where Allah says, I am calling you because everybody because.
Okay.
Show me that.
Show us.
Preservation of life.
Yeah, what's the link?
The thing is, if I ask a question and you answer a completely different question, you look like a fool. Ladies and gentlemen. The question that I asked was, why do Muslims call Jesus the Messiah? Why is that title given to Jesus? Ladies and gentlemen. And the brother said,
what did he say?
for those that want to listen and learn, the brother said, Allah called Jesus the Messiah because Allah would protect and preserve Jesus' life. So I asked the brother, great, that's your answer. Now show me a hadith, a tafsir, or a verse from the Quran where an authority says that is the reason why Isa is given the title, and he has failed to do so. Can you do so?
What is the definition of Messiah according to you then?
Right, then my question is, that's the heart of the matter. Are you a Muslim, sir? I'm a Muslim. Right, let me try with you.
Right, uncle, stop back.
According to Islam,
get out of the way.
Right, why is Isa Right. Are you going to go with his answer?
Yes.
Or are you sticking with your own? I'm not too sure. Which one do you want to go with?
Why is coming
okay, let me come to the answer of this question. Let me bring it back. Right. I've gone around this park for 6 years, and I've debated lots of this. You're on drugs, bro. And invariably, Muslims get the different actions.
No, that's not his man.
Because in his life, it's not worked out.
You're not happy. Go home.
Yeah.
Go behind.
You're not happy. I'm not talking to you.
Go behind.
Don't push me. Don't push me. Because there's no other message. And if I go around and ask every other Muslim that same question, they'll all give you the same answer. The fact that Muslims well, not anymore because they've disappeared. It's called the coins becomes shaped. Yeah, I can say I put it to you as a but you don't know Muslims seems to be able to understand why. It's because Muhammad was just borrowing the term that he had, and he didn't understand why it was being given to him. Not necessarily. Do you know why Jesus is called the Messiah? I know it's appointed one. It means that appointed one. By God. No, it doesn't mean. Okay, so what can I answer? What do you think? What do you think of the Messiah? Messiah, I'll give you the academic answer. Not necessarily. The Messiah, it's the same Arabic word as a Messiah. Messiah means to white. Yes, I know the. But the point is, the reason why it was called Messiah, I'm not too sure about it. Right. It doesn't mean that we don't know. It means I don't know. It could be an answer. Arabic. The word Messiah, right, is the Arabic equivalent to the Hebrew Messiah. Yes, right. No, it's not the same. That's the point. Is that what you're identifying here? It is that in the early Quranic consonantal text, right, a word was used that was not appropriate to be the equivalent of anointed. Anointed one means to pour something over something, like an oil. You pour oil. And you see examples of that in the Old Testament, you know, where things are poured over people. Now, how do you say poured over in You don't know? Do you know Arabic? I know Arabic. Yeah. So how do you say pour? Pour this water into that jug. How do you say pour? You just said you know Arabic. I know Arabic. So why don't you either stop lying about knowing Arabic? I'm not lying. Or you tell me what the word pour is in Arabic. No, we've got a different dialect of Arabic. Right. So in other words, what he's admitting or what he doesn't want to admit on camera is that the word pour in Arabic doesn't sound anything like Messiah. Doesn't sound anything. You're just accusing me of lying. You don't even know me. So say what the word pour is. Pour is water, like a jug. Pour water. Ferra. Ferra. Does that sound like Messiah? No. No. No, Messiah we said. But what does Mashiach mean in Hebrew? Okay, Mashiach means anointed. Okay. Anointed. Like pouring. Yeah. Yeah. Are you 100% of that? Are you 100%? Yeah. Mashiach means anointed. Do you know Hebrew? You know Hebrew? On this word, yes. So how do you say pour in Hebrew? No, I don't know Hebrew. Okay. I said, on this word I know Hebrew. So this word, I am 100% confident, and you can Google check me if you want. Okay. Google check me. Yeah, go on, get to the point. So the point is that there's a number of historical problems with the Islamic Jesus. Problems that when you start to, the more you think about it, the more you realise there's more and more problems. And since these are problems, it demonstrates that the Quran is making up a story about someone that doesn't understand. But how could it be the possibility that right, because you're assuming that he's the only man. No, but okay, I don't have that assumption. Okay, but apart from that, how is he getting the knowledge? Right, but that's the point. I'm demonstrating that he doesn't have the knowledge.
is one. This is an example of a not. You're the and I'm saying by information, I'm saying it's full of problems. It's full of problems. I'm demonstrating law. Let me give you another example. As a Muslim, tell me if you agree that I'm representing Muslims think that he certainly sent and that he brought in that Injil and that Injil confirmed the Torah. And that Injil made some things that were haram halal and some from halal. You know, some Muslims are really nice. So you're saying he brought something like yeah, he modifies the law. So if you just look at it, bear with us 1 second, please, while I find it. Anyway, that's fine. Let's for the sake of argument, just say this is fine. Okay. Make an argument that if it's in... Oh, here it is. Look, here we go. Right, 1 second. I think it's Surah 350. I think. Just so you know that I'm not using the beat. Right. This is, I have come to you to attest to the law which was before me, and to make lawful to you part of what was before me. I have come to you to sign from the law. Fear Allah and there's Here's the problem, right? If Jesus was sent to the Jews and brought an Injil to the Jews, why is there no command in the Quran to obey the Torah and the Injil? In the Quran, as you and I both know, and I can show you if you need me to, there's many places where Allah says to the Jews, like, you have nothing to stand on unless you stand on the Torah. Why, Muhammad, do they come to you for a judgment when they have the word of Allah with them? You know, Muslim, to each of you, we have given a law. To the Jews, the Torah, to the Christians.
Even nowadays, even if you live in Islamic country, for example.
So if you're a Jew, you still be ruled by a Jew. Like here in England, for example, they have Jews. But do you see the problem? Listen, here's the cognitive dissonance. I'm going to lay it out for you. The cognitive dissonance. Point A. Jesus is a prophet to the Jews. He brings a book to the Jews that modifies the Torah. Problem. No, listen. I'm listening. Right. This is the reason for the problem. What I say next is the problem. The problem is that Allah never commands the Jews to obey the Injil. He commands the Christians to obey the Injil. So let me ask you this. Are Christians Jews?
Did the Christian exist at the time of Jesus?
Yes.
No, they didn't.
Yes.
No, they didn't.
Okay, so if you ask Jesus, hold on.
Oh, quick, wait. I'm getting to. If the time of Jesus, when Jesus was alive,
yes,
and you ask him, Jesus, are you a Christian? Would he say yes?
No, Jesus.
Or you say the Christianity developed after the death?
Just followers of Jesus call themselves Christians.
Listen, who brought Christianity according to you?
Okay, if we asked Jesus, so Jesus, are you a Christian? What would he have said?
He wouldn't have said that.
He would have no idea what Christianity is.
No, he wouldn't. Again, agreed.
Okay, so the Christian at that time, they were Jews.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So you can't say that applies to Christians.
Hold on 1 second.
The Christian didn't exist.
So who were the Christians in the Quran? Are Christians Jews?
Okay.
Are Christians Jews according to the Quran? Right, follow the
Christian
argument.
Jews.
What's your name, bro?
Hassan.
I'll put out the argument slowly for you. And I want you to catch it. Because you're missing the argument.
I'm not missing the argument.
Well, you really are.
But you're not happy with the answer. That's what it
Because
is.
you're not addressing the argument.
No, I am.
I'll lay out the argument for you again.
I am. You're saying. Listen. No. You're saying this is referred to Christian.
Okay, all right.
Why the Christian back in those times they never existed.
No. That was not what I said. That was not what I said.
Okay.
If you've understood the argument, repeat to me what my argument is.
So you're saying basically that the verse he's talking about is referring to Christian, not the Jews. But the Christian didn't exist back in those times.
That was not my argument.
Everyone used to be.
That was not my argument.
So what was the argument?
Right, I'll state it for you again.
Yeah, go on.
Right, listen. Isa was sent to the Jews. Isa brought an Injil to the Jews.
Listen,
let me finish.
Let's put it clear. Hold on.
I am trying to put it clearly to you.
He was sent to the sons of Israel.
Right, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Right. So he was sent to the sons of Israel that are known as the Jews.
Yeah.
He brings an Injil. Yeah. That Injil confirms and modifies the Torah.
Yeah.
But then, after that event, Allah never commands the Jews to follow the Injil. Why? You don't know. That's a problem. The reason why is because the author of the Quran.
So what was the point then of Jesus to come to?
Well, that's. Do you want the Christian answer?
No, the Christian answer. Not necessarily.
Do you know what the Christian answer?
I know what you're going to say, that he came to die for us, and
that was part of it.
That wasn't the whole
part of it.
Yeah, okay.
That was part of it.
Was that the purpose of Jesus coming to?
That was definitely part of it. Absolutely, that was part of it, but it's not the short answer. Now here's the thing, right? As Christians, we say that Jesus is the Messiah, and we understand Jesus is the Messiah because he fulfills Old Testament prophecies that were written about him. That we don't believe that that's the reason why he called Messiah. No, but we believe that he's a Messiah. Yeah, but you don't know. But in Islam, there's a reason to call him a Muslim. What is the reason according to the Quran?
I do not know. It doesn't mean that the scholars will know.
I'm saying Allah doesn't know. I'm saying Muhammad didn't know. I'm saying that Muhammad didn't know.
You have to substantiate your claim.
I am substantiating my claim. So that here's my proof.
Muhammad didn't know that.
Here's my proof. Here's my proof. Because Muhammad is the origin of the Quran. From his lips the Quran quotes. Right? And so, when he uses a term that he doesn't understand, one of the indicators that he did not understand that term is that later Muslims would have different reasons for calling him a Messiah. And for 6 years I've asked Muslims in this part of the Quran to call Jesus the Messiah. And they really different reasons. And the one that you read, Tom, was the root, the incidental reason, the root of the word, because al-Masih in Arabic comes from the root to what, right? But that has nothing to do with the is the idea that something is poured.
Not poured, they put oil and anoint it on, that's what it is. To point someone like that, point that as a that's what it is. It's not
so to white, right? To white. Yeah?
Not to white. It's not Arabic is different. Messiah, it can have a different meaning.
Did you hear the Muslim who was speaking to you before you?
Yeah.
What reason did he give as to why Jesus was called Messiah? He said because he's a prophet of God. Right. That was another one. But the one before him said that the reason why Jesus was called the Messiah is because Allah protected and preserved his life. 3 different answers by 3 different Muslims in less than an hour.
Yeah, but that's fine. That's neat.
No, it's not fine.
I can ask
not
every single question here. Probably give you different.
Every Christian here,
they will not give you
the same answer as to why Jesus is the Messiah.
That is not true.
Because he is the fulfillment of the Old Testament prophecies about the coming God-man, the King of Israel.
Is that what?
That is.
So you're saying this was called the Messiah?
That is the.
So the word Messiah means the definition of anointed. But where are you getting that he became God, and where are you getting that from?
Right, you get that from things like Daniel 7, where it talks about one like the Son of Man shall be presented before the Ancient of Days, and he will be seated at his right hand and the nations in the world will bow down and worship and serve him, and his kingdom will be eternal.
So a right hand of the ancient of his days, which is the Father. Which is the Father. Christians. Okay, so I can tell the question now. When he's on the side of the Father, when you go and face the Father and him on the side, how many gods are there? There's one God. So I'm looking at the brother here, and then someone, gentleman sitting right next to the brother. Yes. So you saying I'm looking at one? You're looking at one God. So one sitting next to each other, you're saying you're looking at one God? I'll demonstrate it right now. I'll demonstrate. That's not logical, man. That's not logical. I'll demonstrate the logic right now. All of these people in front of you, how many species are you looking at? Okay. So species. Let me explain. You're not getting too far. You're getting too far. I know what species it is. Right. So answer the question then. Don't obfuscate. Answer the question. No, you're making it. Answer the question. You said it now. How many species are you looking at amongst all of these? Hold on. He said he's going to sit right next to you. Answer the question. No, Hassan. No, you answer the question. I did. So you're telling me you're sitting next to the bar. Answer the question. No. Answer the question, Hassan. Listen. Do you know why he doesn't want to answer the question? Why? He doesn't want to answer the question. What? Got caught out. Got caught out. You're telling me you're looking at one person. He knows that the answer is one. So I'm right next to you here. Listen. It's one. I'm sitting right next to him. Hassan, I'm sitting right next to him. Hassan, you misquoted me. Hassan, you misquoted me. Hassan, you misquoted me. No, that's what you're saying. Because you just said on camera, you just said that when you're looking at two persons and I say that there's one, that I'm saying there's one person. Did I say that? Was that the question? No. The question was, when you see one person, when in this vision of Daniel, you see one person sat next to the next person, which incidentally is two persons. The question was, how many gods am I looking at? Yes, he said. And I answered one. And then he said, how can two be one? And then I said, how many species are you looking at amongst all these people? And for the sake of Hassan, who can't follow an argument, the answer is one. Because you're all humans. Right. So in the vision of Daniel, when you look at the Son of Man and the Ancient of Days, there is only one divinity. There is only one Godhead. You are only looking at one God in that vision. In two persons. That's right. No, was Jesus God? We'll come to that. You're saying my God, was Jesus God? We'll come to that. Because there's another problem. For us, it's not a problem with that at all. It's very simple. The man sent from God. So the guy people listen. Look how simple. I'll tell you. Listen. Look how simple. Listen. Look how simple Islam is. God sent the prophet to the. It has always been. Moses. This is not the question. No, hold on. Listen. This is not the question. You're saying how Islam is complicated. How is it wrong? This is not the question. Listen. Islam. This is not the question. Consistent. This is not the question. The actual question I asked Hassan was... Logical to illogical, it's impossible. I'm showing the irrationality of his Quran, and he can't defend it. The irrationality of his Quran is in this. Allah sends a prophet to Jews. Allah gives a book to Jews called the Injil, but never once does he command the Injil. Yes. Did Allah command the Jews to follow the Torah? Yes. Did Allah give the Injil to the Jews? Yes. Where does Allah command the Jews to follow the Injil? Show me. Show me where it did. Show us. Show me where it did. You making a claim? Show me. You're making a claim. Show me. No, don't follow the what's it called? The Injil. So, ladies and gentlemen. So, ladies and gentlemen. Right. From logical to illogical, come on. Yes, we are seeing the irrationality of his Quran. Let me ask you this question. No contradiction. Is there a verse in the Quran that says to the Jews and the Christians, you have nothing to stand on, says to the Christians, you have nothing to stand on unless you stand on the Injil? Does it say that? Is that verse in the Quran? I don't know. Show me. Oh, he doesn't know. He doesn't know. Okay, let's find it. Yes, we will show you.
Yeah, at least he saw this. At least.
He's not being honest.
No? Oh.
I am being honest. You're not being honest.
Taquilla.
Right. Being honest. I'm going to embarrass him. Talk for a minute. Entertain the crowd.
You can never embarrass me.
Go on, now's your chance to talk about the simplicity of his.
Why is
yeah, go on. Islam is logical, consistent from the start. From the first prophet to the last prophet, always been consistent about God sending a messenger to guide people to worship the one God out there, the sustainer, the creator. He knows everything all the time.
Doesn't beget.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Doesn't beget, no, he's begotten. And there's nothing lacking to it.
Lacking. Two right hands. I don't know that yet.
Right.
Okay.
Stay with us. In Surah 568.
568.
Let me just show you how little he knows about his own religion. Surah 568.
I'm sure I know better.
Surah 568.
One chapter from
Surah
568.
Memorize it. One chapter.
Surah 568.
One chapter. Recite one chapter from your Bible. Go on it.
Right, listen.
Better you know about your
Listen. Oh, people of the book.
Okay.
You have no time to stand upon unless you stand fast by the law, the gospel, and all the revelation that has come to you from your Lord.
Okay.
It is the revelation that cometh to thee from thy Lord that increaseth most high. Him in the obstinate rebellion and blasphemy.
I said, let me read it in Arabic.
Listen. 69. Those who believe in the Quran, those who follow the Jewish scripture, the Sabians and the Christians. Notice, Allah has made the distinction between the Christians and the Jews. Allah made the distinction, not me. And which book are the Christians the possessors of?
You asked a
Which one?
Let me read it in Arabic.
Arabia.
Where is it?
I'll hold my Quran.
Yeah, that's his Quran. Arabia. Ikra Arabia.
What is it? That's one. This one.
Yeah.
This one. Yeah.
68 and 69.
Ikra.
Alright, chill. Alright. قل يا أهل الكتاب لستم على شيء حتى تقيموا التوراة والإنجيل وما أنزل إليكم من ربكم. Yeah, what's the problem with this?
Here's the problem.
What's the problem with this?
He doesn't understand the problem.
He's telling you to obey the law.
Because, ladies and gentlemen,
what's the problem?
In verse 69 of this passage, Allah creates a distinction between the Christians and the Jews. They are a separate group.
Okay.
And then he says to them that the Jews and the Christians must each stand fast according to the Torah and the Gospels. Okay. But, ladies and gentlemen, Isa of Islam went to the Jews. There was no group called Christians. So, who are these mysterious Christians? Let me ask you this question. Because Allah says to the Christians, do not go beyond the bounds of your religion. Do not say three, for Allah is one God.
Yeah, he says that.
Which Jew believes in three gods?
Okay, he knows.
Which Jew?
He knows.
What Jew? Yeah, which Jew believes in three gods?
He's talking about you now.
He's talking about me. There you go. So he recognizes that the Quran is not talking about Jews when it says Christians.
What's the problem with that? I don't really get it.
Why are we Christians called the Alim al-Kitab?
Why are you making it as a problem, but it's not?
Why are we Christians called Alim al-Kitab?
People of the book.
Why are we called Alim al-Kitab?
The people of the book. Why?
He doesn't know Arabic. He doesn't know Arabic.
You don't know Arabic.
He doesn't know Arabic.
Doesn't mean that I don't know. You're not saying it properly.
So, I'll answer the question. Answer the question. Answer the question.
Listen.
Why are we called people
Listen,
of the book?
hold on. When you're trying to speak Arabic, when I say I don't understand, when I say I don't really understand what you're saying.
You knew exactly what I was talking about. We're going to see in a minute you knew exactly what
you don't know. It's your
So what did I say?
I'm sorry to say
what did I say?
I don't know what he said. I don't know what he said.
Let me ask him in English so we can't obfuscate and run away from the question. Why does Allah call the Christians people of the book?
People of the book.
Yeah, why?
Injil book, you crazy, not the book you have.
Why does it call us people of the book?
Because the book was given to Jesus.
And what was that book?
The Injil.
And it was given to who?
Injil.
Who was it given to?
To Jesus.
And who was it given to?
To Jesus.
Was it given to? Injil was given to who?
To Jesus.
And who? Why are we called people of the book?
Yeah, we never said you're people of the book.
Oh
my God!
Christians apparently now are not people of the book.
If you follow the Injil.
I'll just remind him of verse 69 of his own book.
He's saying the Injil book.
Those who believe in the Quran.
You know what you think?
Those that follow the Jewish scripture. The Sabians and the Christians. Who are the Christians?
The Injil. No, you Christian. You're not Christian.
Who?
The
people over there. The people over there.
People follow the Injil.
There you go.
Do you follow the Injil?
Right.
Do you follow the Injil?
So,
do you follow the Injil?
So,
do you follow the Injil?
Yes, I do. I follow the Injil.
Where's your Injil? Where is it?
It's there in my bag.
Show us the Injil.
Now notice, he's just admitted that the Injil was given to Christians.
Yay.
So show me a verse in the Quran where Allah commands the Jews to follow the Injil.
Yeah, show us.
Show us. I don't know.
Right, he doesn't know.
Yeah, that's okay.
He's admitting that he doesn't know.
At least he told there's more.
It's okay not to know. You know that or not?
Right.
You know that or not?
Yes, I do know that.
Okay, thank you. Stop making like a big deal.
Right.
You don't know everything, do you?
By the way, Bob, the Injil is Iranian language. The Arab
I mean, for the fact that, you know.
Persians, they made that name.
Right.
They're not Arab.
Let's look on. Right. Strongest amongst men in enmity to the believers, I find the Jews and the pagans, and nearest amongst them in love to the believers wilt thou find those who say, we are Christians. Because amongst these are men devoted to learning and men who have renounced the world, and they are not arrogant. These Christians are not Jews according to the Quran. But the Quran says the Injil was given to Christians. But the Quran says Jesus was sent to the Jews. And he brought an Injil to the Jews.
So it's an error. Okay.
There is a cognitive dissonance in the Quran, and Hassan hasn't caught on to it yet.
I might not know the answer, but not necessarily that there's no an answer out there.
Hit the like, family, share, hit the like, it's free.
Let's look at where Allah's direct speech to the Jews. Okay. So, in Surah 5, Ayah 43. This is Allah speaking to Muhammad.
Okay.
But why do they come to thee for a decision when they have the Torah before them? Why didn't Allah say, why do they come to you for a decision? They should follow the Injil.
Yes, they follow the Injil, yes.
No, Jews don't follow the Injil.
Islam do not force
Find me
people
a
to come
Jew
to-
who follows the Injil. Find me a Jew who follows the Injil.
No, Jews follow the Torah.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jews follow the Torah. Why do Jews follow the Torah?
Because he was given to...
Because that is what their book is. Thank you, Hassan.
Thank you.
Thank you. He's finally getting it.
Yeah. Oh, Hassan.
Right.
Oh, Hassan.
So when Jesus brought an Injil, who did he give that Injil to?
To Jesus.
No. When Jesus brought an Injil, who did he give the Injil to?
Who did Jesus give it
Follower
to?
of Jesus.
Who are they?
Who are?
Followers of Jesus.
Are they Christians?
Says Christianity.
Jews.
Christianity.
Hassan, you're on camera already admitting this point. Camera already admitting this point.
Listen, we said that Christianity came after Jesus.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's point out another problem.
So according to you, okay, fine. According to you then, who Jesus preached?
Right. So let me explain the Christian perspective. And why we Christians don't have these kinds of problems.
Okay, explain it.
No, but
in the Old Testament, I'm educating you. In the Old Testament,
I can beat you.
Yeah.
In the Old Testament, there's clear prophecies about the Messiah. This is not controversial. Muslim scholars acknowledge this. Jewish scholars about the Messiah. Yeah, that's right. Scholars acknowledge this. Christians believe, they acknowledge that there are prophecies of the Messiah.
Yeah, but they don't believe that Jesus is the Messiah.
You've got to pay attention to
Yeah, I'm paying attention.
Try paying attention and you might learn.
All right, Dad, no problem.
Right, thank you. Right. So in terms of this, Christians maintain Jesus fulfills these prophecies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And for this reason, he is the Lord's anointed. Right? Okay. And the point of the Lord's anointed, according to the Old Testament prophecies, is that he will establish the rule of God on earth.
Yeah.
Right. Let me ask you this question. Right? And that he would succeed at this role. He's going to succeed at establishing God's rule on earth. Christians believe that Jesus does this through the work of the church around the world.
Say that one more time.
Right? Christians believe that Jesus has achieved this through the work of the church, because the church establishes the disciplines and the rule of God. Now let me ask you this question.
Sorry, okay, hold on.
Let me ask you this question.
Hold on, wait.
According to the Islamic Jesus, did he succeed in establishing anyone to follow him? Where is the rule of the Injil on earth today? Where is the rule of the Injil from the time of Jesus to the time of Muhammad?
Where's the rule of the Injil? The time of Jesus to Muhammad?
From the time of Jesus to the time of Muhammad.
Okay. What's the question?
Right. The question is, he didn't listen.
Okay.
Hassan really doesn't like to listen.
I'm trying to pay attention, but it sounds a bit illogical to me.
Did you follow the logic? Did you follow the logic?
Yeah.
Did you follow the logic?
Yeah, of course it.
I'm just pointing to random people. Bro, I don't know you. Did you follow the logic?
Yeah,
Did you follow the logic? Actually did. Yeah, God says.
So everybody followed the logic except Hassan.
Tell her to repeat the question. Tell her to repeat the question.
You're the one I'm talking to.
No, tell her to repeat the question.
Hassan, pay attention, Hassan.
He's running away.
There you go.
Let's do this again.
You're paying attention.
Are you paying attention, Hassan? Listen. The messianic prophecies about the Messiah say that the Messiah will establish the rule of God on earth.
Yeah.
The Islamic Jesus failed completely to do this. His followers, there's no record of history of their ever existing except in the Quran. His book disappears. There's no record of it ever existing except in the Quran.
Yeah, that's true.
So
This means
that he is not the Messiah.
No, do you believe that this Bible is in
from an Islamic perspective?
No. Do you believe this Bible? Do you believe this Bible is the gospel of Jesus?
This is not a Bible. This is a Quran.
Okay, that's fine. No, the Bible.
This is not a Bible. This is a Quran.
Right. What's so funny about that? Don't really.
It's you guys are having.
You a showman, or are you looking for the truth?
The reason why you're not.
Are you looking for the truth? You're a showman here.
Yeah. Is because you're more about.
You're not embarrassing me here, you know.
You're more
I'm
about
telling you that.
than engaging with the argument.
Right.
That's what people.
No, I am. I'm engaging. I'm listening. So, am I catching you when you talk?
Yes.
I am not listening.
Constantly.
Are you for real?
You have not once stopped interrupting me.
Are you for real?
Ladies and gentlemen, has he been interrupting me constantly?
He has.
Okay,
right,
do you believe,
he's a nice guy, man.
Right, do you believe the Bible is the same book that Jesus held in his hand?
Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to let Hassan ask me questions about my faith.
Okay.
Hassan can't defend his.
No.
And it's like shooting ducks in a barrel, it gets boring after.
Yeah, he does. Islam is done.
Right, go on. Ask me questions.
Okay, so do you
Hassan.
Do you believe that the Bible is the same book that Jesus held in his hand?
Right, ladies and gentlemen.
The question is?
The question is a faulty question.
Oh, okay.
And let me educate Hassan.
Faulty question.
Right, why was it a faulty question?
Why?
Why was it a faulty question? Why was it a faulty question? So you see this brother's educating you right now. Did you hear the answer?
Pardon?
Repeat again, brother.
There was no Bible in the time of Jesus.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Right, so the question was faulty.
Okay, then that's the answer to the question.
Because he asked me.
So that's the answer to the question.
He asked me.
The book is not the same book that Jesus held in his hand.
No.
That's what he said.
No.
The
Bible is a collection of books that includes the New Testament. The New Testament was not there at the time of Jesus. If you had asked an intelligent question like, was the Old Testament that Jesus touched with his hand, I would say yes.
So you all said the Old Testament. No, that's fine. Let's not debate, but let's get to the point.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so
next question.
Listen, no, you didn't answer my question. No, I said, is the Bible the same book, same gospel of Jesus that he had in there?
Right. So the question again is faulty. It's faulty. There was no new. The Bible contains the New Testament. I've just said that there was no new. The question is mistaken.
Okay.
The question should be phrased,
let's ask it another way.
Is the Old Testament the same as the one that Jesus put his hand on? And the answer is yes.
I'm not talking about.
Try again to ask an intelligent question.
Okay. Okay. Do you believe that the book that you had in his hands is exactly what he said in a book in his time?
Right.
The Torah.
So, I'm going to answer the question more compassionately this time.
Yeah.
Because what he's trying to say is, Jesus, your gospel.
Yes.
Well, so I've not misrepresented myself.
Now we got it.
But the question is faulty, ladies and gentlemen. The question is faulty because we Christians don't believe that Jesus brought a book.
No way.
This is an Islamic belief, and there's no evidence for it.
Nothing.
The Muslims can't produce so much as a fragment of this Injil. They can't produce so much as a document testifying to its existence. Anyone arguing in favor of it or anyone arguing against it. So let me answer this question. Do I believe that the New Testament, the Gospels in particular, are true representations, true portraits of Jesus' life and message? And the answer is yes, I do.
Amen. And how do you know?
How do I know?
How do you know if it's true what the Bible states, what the Bible claims?
Right. Great question. How do we know what the Bible is true?
How?
Let me use an example.
Tell us.
The Bible makes claims about Jesus.
Yes.
That he was worshipped as the Messiah. That he was crucified.
Was he worshipped?
That he was the center of a new religion.
Yeah.
This is what the New Testament teaches.
It does.
And non-Christian sources, pagan sources, Jewish sources confirm essential elements of the Christian message.
It does.
They confirm that Jesus died on a cross. They confirm that he was the center of the new religion. They confirm that he was called the Messiah. They confirm that he was the center of a new religion. That he was a wonder worker.
Miracle worker.
Ladies and gentlemen, the New Testament testifies that people that followed Jesus used to gather on Sunday. And non-Christian sources confirm that the followers of Jesus would gather on a Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, the New Testament talks about a famine happening in the province of Judea and Syria in the book of Acts.
That's fine. Just
Roman authorities also confirm
the question. How do you know? How do you come to know that the New Testament is true what they're saying?
Did you all hear my answer?
Yes.
In other words, what Hassan's looking for... Shall I tell you what Hassan's looking for? He says it. Hassan wants to know the Isnad.
Do you know it?
Right, there you go. Did you see? You see? What is his first question?
Do you know why? Because how many times people ask you, you can never answer that.
I did answer that question. Your first question was, how do I know? I gave the answer, historical confirmation. But what he really meant was, what about the Isnad chain? What about the Isnad?
Did you even know who's the authors?
Yes, we do.
Are they really the authors?
Matthew, Mark,
are they really the authors?
And John.
Are they really the authors?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, they are. How do we know? How do we know?
You're lying.
Let me
your scholars claim that they don't know who is the author of the Bible.
No.
Yes. Which scholars?
Which scholars? Which scholars? Which scholars?
Denomination, Christian denomination.
Which scholars?
I can't tell you the name, but they claim that they don't know the
claim that they is not from Allah.
Christian denominations.
Muslim scholars claim Muhammad was not a prophet.
They are anonymous.
Muslims claim that the hadiths are reliable.
Christian
Do you
denominations.
see how easy that is, ladies and gentlemen?
Author of the Bible, they are anonymous.
No,
I'm not going to
ladies
listen
and
to you.
gentlemen.
I'm not going to listen to you.
No,
You're nothing
ladies and
compared.
gentlemen.
You're nothing compared to
those scholars.
Your scholars said they are
Which
anonymous.
scholars?
Christian scholars.
Which ones?
That's where your prophet is in the hellfire now. That's where Muhammad is now. Because he slept with a 9-year-old. That's where your prophet is. He's in there now.
I haven't learned nothing from you. Nothing.
You didn't listen at any time. You didn't listen at
I've
any
been
time.
listening to you for the last half an hour.
Watch
I haven't
the video
learned
back,
nothing from
Hassan.
you.
Watch the video
Apart
back,
from
and
showman,
all that
you're
you will
just-
see is that you have shouted through every time that I have spoke.
My voice is not like this
Let me
yours.
explain why we know that the gospel authors wrote the gospels, ladies and gentlemen. The first reason why we know is because wherever we find physical evidence of any gospel that gives the ascription of the author, it always says Matthew wrote Matthew, Mark wrote Mark, Luke wrote Luke, John wrote John. No,
Listen.
the second reason, ladies and gentlemen,
The carbon dated.
the second reason, ladies and gentlemen, is this.
Okay, tell us.
If people were making it up, and they were just coming up with an author and they were inventing it, what you would find is in different parts of the Roman world, different Christian communities would have ascribed the authorship of the Gospels to different people, and that they would have argued amongst themselves about who wrote what Gospel. But do you know what we see?
What do we see?
In the writings of the early fathers,
What do we see?
we find zero disagreement.
Listen.
Everybody says Matthew wrote Matthew, Mark wrote Mark, Luke wrote Luke, and John wrote John.
Who said that?
The third reason, ladies and gentlemen, the third reason, ladies and gentlemen, is because if you were making it up, there were better people to pick than Luke and Mark. Luke and Mark were not direct witnesses.
They weren't.
Luke and Mark were followers of the apostles.
They were.
If you were going to make it up, you would say the Gospel of Peter.
Let me tell you one thing.
Why?
No, listen.
Because Peter was an
Matthew, listen. Your name is Matthew,
eyewitness.
listen.
You would say Peter. Why? Because
Matthew,
Peter was the most prominent of the apostles, ladies and gentlemen. So reply to the argument I've made.
Listen.
Go on, reply.
Listen, one verse in the Quran said, if it comes from other than God, surely you find lots of contradictions.
And I've shown you lots of contradictions.
In Quran?
Yes.
You must be crazy, man.
Yes, I showed you one.
You must be mad.
I showed you one.
There is no zero contradiction.
Show it.
Let me show him again.
Zero contradiction.
According to the Quran, who did Allah send Jesus to?
I don't know.
He doesn't know.
Jesus sent to the sons of Israel.
Right. So Jesus was sent to the Jews.
Sons of Israel.
Right. Who are the Christians according to the Quran?
Are you sons of Israel?
Who are the Christians according to the Quran? According to the Quran. Who are the Christians?
Sons of Israel.
No, he's lying. Show me the verse where it says Christians are the sons of Israel.
Was Jesus sons of Israel?
Show me the verse.
Was Jesus sons of Israel?
Show me the verse.
Was Jesus sons of Israel?
Show me the verse.
Show me the verse.
Go on, show me the verse.
To show that the followers of Jesus are Jews.
Let me help Hassan.
No, don't help me.
Let me help him.
I've had a lot of help from you.
The reason why Christians are addressed in the Quran is because they are called people of the book. What book did the Christians receive? They received the gospel of Jesus, ladies and gentlemen. So why does Allah not command the Jews to follow the Injil? Why does he command them to follow the Torah?
Okay, if you're making a claim, give us the proof that Allah said don't follow the gospel of Jesus.
No, that's not what I claimed.
No, that's what you claim.
No, I did not.
No, you're saying Allah
the
gospel of Jesus,
claim that.
and he did not say to the Jews
I
to
did
follow
not claim that.
That's what you said.
No, I did not claim that. Let's go. Let me show you. Let me educate you.
The sun is coming very
You're not smart, you think you are.
I'm not smart. I never claimed that I'm smart. I never claimed that I'm smart. You're the one that everything. I know everything. You don't know nothing, man. You don't know Quran, you don't know Bible, you don't know nothing. Right. You recited each other side one verse of your Bible, you don't know it.
Right. Listen to this passage. Let the people of the gospel judge by what Allah hath revealed therein. Who are the people of the gospel according to the Quran? Wrong. He lied. The people of the gospel are the Christians, ladies and gentlemen. Let me show you. In Surah 5, Ayah 48, we send the scriptures in truth, confirming the scripture that came before it, and guarding it in safety. So judge between them by what Allah hath revealed, and follow not their vain desires, diverging from the truth that Allah has come to thee.
Okay, what do you understand by that?
To eat amongst you, we prescribed a law
what do you understand
and
by
an
that?
open way.
What do you understand by
if
that?
Allah had so willed, he would have made you a single people to test you in what he hath given you to strive as in a race in all virtue. The goal of all is to Allah. So here's what I understand by that verse.
Okay.
Because unfortunately, Hassan has lost the power of hearing. Despite the fact that the Quran says, when the Quran is being recited, pay heed that you may obtain mercy. So I'm writing to him the Quran, but he doesn't want to listen.
You're not reciting the Quran. You're reading a translation of the Quran.
Thank you for admitting that the Quran is for Arabs and not for anyone else. But the Quran is for Arabs and not for anyone else. Now, ladies and gentlemen,
Quran is in Arabic. We have the original text. You do not have the original text of the Bible.
Ladies and gentlemen,
that is the difference.
What, ladies and gentlemen,
keep the copy, the original
do
copy.
I understand
What's the original copy of your Bible?
by this verse,
tell everyone around here, what's your
gentlemen.
original copy of your Bible? Tell them.
Which Quran do you believe in?
Huh?
Which Quran do you believe in?
As Kirat.
Yes, Kirat. I don't believe in Arabization. I don't believe in Arab colonialism. Arabic is not a superior language. Arab culture is not superior to our culture. Muslims do. That's why they all copy in Arab. That's why they read in Arabic. Pray in Arabic. Bow down to an Arab city. Dress like an Arab. Eat like an Arab. Arabization is essential to Islam.
It is.
No, you just go. I love Arabic. No, you don't. That's a lie. I love. And their culture is just as honourable as my own. But in Islam, Arabic and Arab culture is lifted above.
Let's see if you love your brother. You're Christian Arabic.
You're running from your own question, Hassan. You're running from your own question. What was your question about this verse?
I'm asking you one question.
What was your question about this verse? What was your question about this verse? What was your question? No, he didn't. I'll tell you what your question was. Because Hassan wasn't listening to me, but I was listening to Hassan. I thank you for showing the disrespect of Islam and that Muhammad failed to teach you manners. Showing the manners of Islam. No, showing the manners of Islam. Yeah, he doesn't listen to his own holy book. He doesn't listen to questions about his own holy book. Nothing. And he doesn't want to engage in his own holy book.
Listen, just preach. That's what you do. Why would I
You
listen
asked
to
me
you?
a question.
You're preaching.
You asked.
Why would I listen to you?
Thank you for admitting that you were lying earlier when you said you were listening.
Liar,
Thank you for admitting.
Liar.
How do you know that was lying? How do you know that was lying?
Never.
How do you know that was lying?
Because you just said, why should I listen?
Why was I listening when you
Liar.
preaching?
You asked me a question. You asked me, what do I understand about Surah 5:48? It's on camera, and you're going to be embarrassed when we do the flashback, showing that you did indeed answer that question. Yeah, of you asking that question.
Editing, yeah, of course you will.
Yes, and you're going. Everyone's going to see your face, your voice, asking that question. Who heard him ask that question? Who heard him ask the question? What do you understand by this verse?
Okay, let's see how we're
Right. So here's what I understand by this verse. Allah is saying that there are distinct peoples, and these peoples have been given distinct books. Zoroastrians, Jews, Christians, Muslims.
Yeah,
They've all been given a book to follow,
followers of Jesus,
and they should
among Jews
run towards Allah, practicing virtue, and Allah will judge between them.
Okay, was the followers of Christ living among Jews or not?
Right. So,
what I speak to you, why would I speak to you? You don't even listen. You just there, you're memorizing some few things, and you're just saying it. It's pointless. It's pointless. You're not known as a person.
I'm going to address your question.
You're not known as a person.
I'm going to address
You're
your
not known as a
question.
person.
No more than you.
No, I'm telling you, you're not honest.
Yes.
You are not an honest person.
Well, the
just talk for the sake of talking.
The people can decide. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me answer Hassan's question. Hassan's question was, were the followers of Jesus living amongst the Jews? The answer to that question is obviously yes. But
the people that didn't follow Jesus, the people that didn't follow Jesus,
Muhammad lived 7 centuries later in Arabia, in Medina. And in Medina, 7 centuries later, he said these words: let the people of the gospel judge by what Allah hath revealed therein.
Yes, Allah will have revealed.
Right. So in the 7th century, you have the people of the gospel who are the Christians, not the Jews. And so Allah is giving a command to the Christians, not the Jews, not to Jewish followers of Jesus. So in other words, ladies and gentlemen, Hassan cannot follow the logic of his So ladies and gentlemen, since we've established that Allah was speaking to the Christians in the 7th century and commanding them to follow the gospel, and they are Christians, not Jews, ladies and gentlemen. Even now, why is Allah not commanding the Jews to follow the gospel?
Why is he not telling the Jews to follow the gospel? Yes. How is he not? Right. How is he not? He's always saying, all the sons of Israel, remember the favor that I done upon you. And how is he not? I don't really get it. You already say about this chapter, that's all you know anyway. The Quran is 114 chapter. You're just bringing a little verse where it suits you, taking Jews, and then you tell me, no, nothing, my friend. You don't know this. I know more than you. No, you don't know.
I'm going to prove it right now.
You don't know.
I'm going to prove it right now.
You don't know.
Who is this verse addressing? Who is Allah through Muhammad addressing? Sons of Israel, the Jews. Surah
followers of Jesus were sons of Israel too. They were not from Elephant Castle here, you know.
In the 7th century.
They were not from Elephant Castle.
In the 7th century, in Arabia, who were the Jews following Jesus?
Who was the Jews following Jesus?
Yes.
I didn't mean to say a question.
Did you understand the question? Did you understand the question?
Yeah.
Did you understand the question?
Okay, what did you say?
Only the Muslims don't understand the question.
What did you say?
Who was the followers of Jesus in the 7th century?
No, hold on, repeat.
Who were the Jewish followers of
Jesus? No, hold on.
Repeat.
Muslim.
People following Jesus in the 7th century.
You see the there you go. Can you repeat it, please?
Can you repeat it?
No, can you repeat it?
Can you repeat it?
I said to you to repeat it because I didn't hear you properly.
No, you didn't.
Can you repeat it properly
because you interrupted
Jesus in the 7th century.
There you go.
Who was the Jews
following the gospel?
And it was the Christians. I don't even understand the question.
Do you see?
Who were the followers
Who
of
was
Jesus?
Shall I explain?
No.
Shall I explain why he doesn't understand the question?
Why?
Because the Quran is confused.
No.
And he has inherited
let me tell you something. Let me tell you why. The Quran addresses the Jews as
following the Torah.
Are you going to listen?
And he addresses the Christians as following the gospel.
Are you going to listen?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Listen. Are you going to listen?
And he says Jews follow the Torah and Christians follow the gospel.
Absolutely pointless talking to you.
But the confusion comes in because Jesus was sent to the Jews and he gave a book to the Jews, but then Allah never commands the Jews to follow the gospel.
Yes, they did. Yes,
go on, show me.
Yes, he did.
Show me.
Okay, let's go. Let's have a look.
Yeah, go on.
You're keeping up in.
Go on, show us. Let me explain my point. In Surah 5, Ayah 4, while Hassan's finding his verse, it says this: it was we who revealed the Torah to Moses, therein was guidance and light. By its standard have been judged by the prophets who bowed down, as in Islam, to Allah's will, by the rabbis. If Allah sent Jesus with the Injil, the verse should read, it was we who revealed the law to Moses and the Injil to Jesus, therein was guidance and light, and by its standards have they been judged, the Jews. But Allah is saying he judges the Jews by the Torah. There's no mention of the Injil, but Isa brought the Injil to the Jews, and the Jews should have followed the Injil, so Allah should have judged the Jews by the Injil, not the Torah.
Okay, listen.
Answer that.
No, hold on.
So, did they have, you see the Jews, yeah? They believe in the Torah, right?
Yes.
Did they have a prophecy that the prophet is going to come?
They had prophecies of the Messiah.
The Messiah's coming, right?
Yes.
So when the Messiah coming, did they have to follow the
yes, they should follow the Messiah, yes.
Okay, so,
they had the argument for the Messiah. Not listening. If you listen, it'll help you.
I've asked you a question.
I've answered the question.
I told you that.
And then you'll say, I don't get it. No, but okay. And you said I don't get it. And now I'm going to try once more to explain what the problem is that you're not getting because you're not listening. Listen, your book says your God sent the Torah to the Jews and that Allah will judge the Jews by the Torah. Did you get that
When
point?
Jesus is not there.
Did you get that point?
Yeah.
Right. Your book...
When Jesus doesn't exist.
Did you get that?
That's the time of Moses, yeah?
Did you get that point?
No, but by the time of Moses.
No, it's the time of Muhammad.
Listen.
Is this revealed in the 7th century?
Yeah.
Was it revealed by Muhammad?
I don't.
So it wasn't revealed by Muhammad? Okay.
Allah's the author.
I'm not going to quibble. Fine. It's revealed by Allah. Was it done in the 7th century? Right. So Allah is talking in the 7th century. Did you get that point, Hassan?
Yeah, I did.
Right. So we're talking about the 7th century, aren't we, Hassan?
No, but sometimes the Quran talks about the past.
Right. Except it's talking about the present.
Okay, so it's a judge.
The present of the 7th century.
Okay, so what's the story behind it? Do you know the context of this?
No,
When
listen.
they come to the Prophet,
listen.
To be fair, you have to say the context of the verse.
No, you have to be fair.
And you're making a claim.
I am, and I'm trying to
Do you know the story when they?
and
Do you know the story they come to the Prophet?
Right.
You know that story?
So let me explain the problem. In Surah 5:44, Allah says that He sent the Torah to the Jews through Moses, and that Allah will judge the Jews by the Torah. The problem with that is this, that in the 1st century, according to Islam, Allah sent Isa to the Jews and gave them the gospel. So if Allah sent a new revelation, what should Allah judge them by? The Torah or the Injil or both? Injil. Thank you. Thank you. It should be by the gospel. But yet Allah is saying He's judging them by the Torah.
That's not saying this. What's the context of that? Go and tell us.
Right.
Don't tell us because you're a scholar. I'm renowned from you.
Let's read it.
Let's listen to the context.
Let's read it.
Yeah, the story behind it. When they come to the Prophet.
It was we who revealed the law to Moses, was guidance in by its standard have been judged the Jews. Why is Allah judging the Jews by the Torah and not the Injil or the Torah and the Injil? Context. Why is Jesus not mentioned? Context. Why is Jesus not mentioned? Yes, context. Yes, Muhammad is speaking to Jews. Okay, so yes, what's the context? I'll give you the context. Here's the context. The Jews came to Muhammad. Yes. Thank you.
You know it now.
Thank you.
You know the story, don't you?
Thank you.
You know the story, then. Go on, then.
The Jews came to Muhammad saying, we found a woman caught in adultery. What should we do about it? Should we stone her, in other words? And Allah says, that's a Jew. Muslims have been putting words in Muhammad's mouth for centuries. For centuries. You change your hadith You change your hadith every other week.
Hold up the first story.
Which Quran? Hafs, Wash, Duri, which Quran do you want me to follow?
There's no difference.
Yes, there are differences.
Ignorant, you know that?
Yes, there are
it's the same
differences.
Quran. It's
Yes,
the same
there are
Quran.
differences.
It was revealed in Ashra.
Yes, there are differences.
No, there's no.
Yes, there are.
Okay, what's the difference? Go on then.
Right.
Tell us the difference now.
I will.
Stop lying.
I will. I'm not lying.
Don't make
You're floundering.
You can't even
Hassan.
back up.
You're floundering. Hassan.
You can't even back up.
You're floundering. I will. I'm going to embarrass you. I really will. I really will. However, I'm going to finish my point. The point is that the Jews came to Muhammad looking for a decision, and Allah replies, why are they coming to you, Muhammad, for a decision? They have the Torah, not the Torah and the Injil. Why does Allah not say they have the Torah and the Injil? Wasn't Moses and Jesus sent to Israel? Wasn't Moses and Jesus bringers of books to Israel? Why has Allah forgotten that He sent Isa to Israel?
Are you going to listen?
Go on, answer my question.
Do Jews have a civil
That's not answering my question.
It is. They're living among Christian and Muslims.
Why did
they have their own ruling?
Send Isa to the Jews?
Civil matter, they have their own.
Why did Allah forget that He sent the Injil to the Jews? Why did Allah only mention the Torah and Moses?
No, He didn't.
Yes, He did.
Okay, was it the followers of Jesus?
I literally read the 2 verses to you.
Followers of Jesus, sons of Israel.
In the 7th century, the followers of Jesus are the Christians, and most of them were Jews. Which you agreed is correct.
I told you that the Christians and Jews, they've been living among Muslims, yet they have their own ruling. Same as living in England now.
And what is the ruling of the Christians? What's 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 the ruling of the Christians? I don't know what book you're talking about. What book are you talking about?
What are you talking about? What's the ruling of the Christians?
So I'll help him again, because Hassan doesn't know.
You're just preaching.
The ruling that he's talking about is the Injil. The problem with that is that the Christians in the 7th century were not Jews. So why is Allah referring to non-Jews following a book that Allah sent to the Jews in the 7th century? You see, the Quran has cognitive dissonance. He wanted me to show him a contradiction in the Quran. I have shown him a contradiction in the Quran. Now he has to explain it, and while he does, I'm going to pull up for him different versions of the Quran.
Listen, you're saying basically why the Jews at the time of Prophet Muhammad, they were ruling by them books. That's what he's saying, right?
Hassan, you need to listen. Everyone else
You're just shouting.
Everyone else is
not here to learn, you're here to learn.
Hassan, you're not here to teach.
I'm not teaching, I'm here to learn. I'm trying to learn, but you're still here teaching.
I'm not trying to learn.
I'm telling you I am. You're being dishonest and you're really bad at teaching.
Right,
I'm trying to listen to you do this. Why you just shout and shout? That's what you're doing.
Right.
So you're trying so hard. You're trying so hard to find a contradiction in the Quran, which you can never do.
Right.
You can never do. Not same as the Bible. There's a million contradictions. What he did is different. You can pick up straight what happened.
We understand him. Why you saying you can't start? We understand him.
Well, he speaks English.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. But what you're not answering the question, which is we were waiting for you.
What did you understand?
Whether he said, why you don't understand?
Tell me what he went to say.
The people who goes to the
You never did. You never understood. You never understood. Okay, tell me. Go on.
He told you.
What was his point? What was his point? Go on.
The point was you are just want to attack to his right.
Hassan wanted me to show you differences in the Quran. So let me show you differences in the Quran.
Yeah, there are many.
What I'm about to quote to you is from a book, you can Google it now. It's called Fadl Solomon's Quran, and it shows the 10 Qira'at of the Quran.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Right.
We know.
Right.
I've told you that the Quran was revealed with 10 Qira'at. We know that. That's not something new to telling us that.
Except that they disagree. Except that they change the meaning of the text. Right? So let me give you an example. Oh Lord, we are the messengers of your Lord. They will not reach you. So take your family on a journey while yet a part of the night remains, and let none of you look back. But your wife, she will be afflicted by that which afflicts them. Ibn Kathir and Abu Amir read it as, so take your family on a journey while yet a part of the night remains, and let none of you look back except your wife. She will be afflicted by it. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is from Ibn Kathir and Abu Amir. Right, are you denying that a Qira'at? Denying that the Qira'at has...
Let me play my
Are you denying that they have different words?
It's not different.
They are different words. There are different words. Let me give you an example. If I say,
I don't say
I say people fall in the way, is that the same as saying people died in the way? Things the same.
Sorry, say that again.
So he's not listening.
I didn't listen to you.
Yeah, I know you didn't listen. You've not been listening all day.
I am.
Right? Remember, this is reflecting on Islam. So, let's do it. No problem.
I've been arrogant.
All the way
something that I don't know, I say I don't know.
All the way through.
No.
All the way through.
Yeah,
Let's be clear. In the Quran, in the Qiraat, the half says, and they fought in the way of Allah.
You're going to show me where it says that?
Are you denying it?
No, you're going to show me where it says that?
Are you denying it?
No. When you make your claim,
are you denying it?
Listen,
are you denying it?
Listen.
Are you denying it? Are you denying it?
Oh, different Qur'an.
Are you denying it?
Different
Are you
Qur'an.
denying the different Qur'an?
No. When you give us the examples, you're going to show us the example of the
Let me
Qur'an.
ask you this question. Let me ask you this question.
No, continue what you're going to say.
I'm giving you an example.
Give an example.
All right? Let me. I'll find you another example. All right.
Hit the like, family, share the link.
I just want to find one that you're not gonna trip over and that you can follow. Never do that. Right. Listen. And I'll give you the surah afterwards. Here is the difference in the Qiraat that changes Sharia law, changes fiqh. So depending on which Qiraat you believe, you're going to do either A or B. And A is not the same as B. Are you listening? So, it says, yet for those who can fast with difficulty, a compensation is allowed to give food for a destitute person. Is person singular or plural? Singular or plural? Person, singular or plural? Singular. However, ladies and gentlemen, however, ladies and gentlemen,
What Qur'an is this?
Hisham reads in his Qur'an, a compensation is allowed, food for singular or plural? Is singular the same as plural? Is singular the same as plural? Is singular the same as plural? Or is singular the same as plural?
According to that text.
I think the answer is obvious, they are not, and therefore this is a different ruling depending on which Quran you follow, ladies and gentlemen.
You're saying it's a different version of Quran.
Right.
Is that a different
And that's from Surah 2, Ayah 184. Ayah 184. Right. Let me give you another one.
No, you have to tell us the first one. Which era was that?
Let me give you another one.
I'm not going to listen. Tell me the first one.
I'm now talking to these people. Yeah, I'm now talking to these people. Let me give you another example.
I don't know.
Here's another example of a change in the Quran. Right? It says this. Oh Moses.
Give your life to Isa Messiah.
Oh Moses, oh bewitched, he said, you have most assuredly known that none sent these down except the Lord of the heavens and the earth. Truly we gave Moses and sign children of Israel about when he went in fair that he said, you have most surely known that none sent these down except the Lord and the earth. But in Quran, He said, I have most surely known. Now the thing is, the difference between you have most surely known means that Moses is speaking to Pharaoh. But in Al-Qasr, Moses have most surely known. In other words, Moses is not referring to Pharaoh, Moses is referring to himself. So which Quran is correct? The Quran that says my source is Fadl Solomon's 10 readings of the Quran. Fadl Solomon is a scholar of the Quran. Are you a scholar of the Quran? No, you're not. Fadl Solomon is. And Fadl Solomon has published this work, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, he has.
So, was Moses talking to Pharaoh, or was Moses talking about Pharaoh, or was Moses talking about himself?
Just read what's in your Bible.
Question.
You don't even know.
No answer.
Question, can he?
No answer. No answer. Thank you, Hassan. You be a good sport. You be a good sport, though.
Thank you, right, ladies and gentlemen.
You being a good sport, though.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're done with Hassan.
Yeah, well done,
He's over today.
Well done, Hassan. Well done, Hassan. Well done.
Can I give you a gift?
Yeah, give.
Right.
Nobody's match for you, brother.
Yeah. Poor Hassan. Poor Hassan. Maybe he'll be like Tariq.
We love you, brother.
Who'll come back in a few weeks and say he's a Christian.
Yeah, pray for him.
Maybe he will be like Ananda.
Yes.
And come back in a few weeks and say he was Christian.
Or like Billy.
Or maybe he will be like Billy said he's Christian.
Not yet. Yeah. Pray for Billy.
He doesn't know.
So, ladies and gentlemen.
Cheerio.
Jesus Christ, man. The one that can see everything. He knows everything all the time. Not the one who doesn't know.
The first and the last.
Answer.
Alpha and Omega.
Of course.
Yeah, okay.
Does Jesus say he's the first and the last?
Yes.
That's Paul saying.
Does Allah say he's the light of the world?
He does.
Does he?
Hold on.
Does Jesus say he's the light of the world?
Yes.
Who said he's the last of the verse? Who said? Did Jesus say that?
Does Allah call himself the resurrector?
Jesus say, I'm the first and the last.
Does Jesus says, I am the resurrection?
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Hassan.
Done, Hassan.
Yes, he's done. I'm telling you. He's not going.
Cheerio. Yeah, pray for Hassan family. Pray for him. Be nice to him in the comment section.
Right.
Yeah.
God bless you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about something else.
Okay.
Something else entirely.
Yeah, go on, Bob. Alright, so I think we're gonna be shutting down the live stream, family. It's been 2 hours now, and I think I need to charge the batteries.
Right. I want to talk about something else, ladies and gentlemen.
You accepting heckle?
What? Breathe, brother, breathe. Take a break. You can always come and debate. Would you like to debate?
What would be the subject?
The failure of liberal secular humanism. The problems with liberal secular humanism. Sorry.
So the admins or the mods have been looking after the chat.
Right, ladies and gentlemen. I want to talk.
Button so you can get notified of videos.
Thank you.
That we're going to be publishing.
I want to talk about.
Thank you. Thank you.
The recent knife attack against the guy that was burning the Quran in the streets of London.
It's been 2 hours already, so I think
I'm reading from, ladies and gentlemen, the Humanist UK.
Take care. Thank you.
The Humanist UK writes, man who attacked
no promises, okay?
a Quran burning protester with a knife in central London, apparently to protect his religion, has avoided jail time despite pleading guilty to the assault. Instead, Musa Kadri, that is his name.
Okay.
Musa Kadri has been given a 20-week prison sentence, suspended for 8 months, 150 hours of unpaid work and 10 days of rehabilitation. In the sentencing remarks, the judge summarised that Kadri had lost his temper as he was deeply offended by the Quran burning. He threatened to kill and insulted the protester, Hamid Koskun, and told him he was going to kill him before returning armed with a knife and carrying out a very frightening and violent attack, the judge explained. The Kadri's sentence was mitigated due to his previous exemplary character, his being relied upon as a carer, his charity work and his remorse. Ladies and gentlemen, let us be clear. What you have seen demonstrated in British law is the horror of a two-tiered judiciary. Which Christian do you think would be let off with such a light sentence when a Bible is desecrated if they use the defense, "I lost my temper"? If any man amongst us was to wave a knife and attack someone saying that "I'm going to kill you" because they lost their temper, because let's face it, who hasn't attacked someone with a knife because they lost their temper? Has anyone ever heard of someone attacking someone with a knife in a calm, cool state? Maybe a psychopath, possibly, but virtually every violent assault that is ever carried out under British law was done because someone lost their temper. And that is